Good morning. Good morning. How's everybody doing today? Happy Tuesday. Chris, it with the 7 months. Thank you so much. Thank you. Money moves with the 4 months. Thank you, girlfriends. Oh, and Kel's 420 with the 2 months. Oh my gosh, you guys are so amazing. Thank you. Seriously, thank you. Good morning, Lori, Kelly Mac, Janet, Lollies, KP, Gary, Kelly Mac, of course, Kristen, of course, Regina, Jill. Let me not scroll too far. Queen Bella, Cheryl. I actually was going to email you, Queen Bella. Miss Melissa, KP. OG Shalday. Wake up, Maggie. Oh, I like that name. Hey, Juno, Donnie D, Catherine, Billy Sunday, Daz, good morning. Time Traveler, Nosy Bish with the 26 months. Thank you so much. Holy shit. Hey, Emerald, Feisty Nana, Bill, I said Billy Durr, Lisa G, Poetic Justice, Julie's Crafton, Katie B. Thank you for last night, Katie B. I'm debating if I'm going to acknowledge that now or do it later. Hey, Half Sour, Betty Boop, Terry, Angel Chips, Lisa, Mrs. Murdoch, Crystal, KT, Newfie, Eastern Girl, Stassi, Marie. You guys are all amazing. Good morning, Mystic Butterfly, Pam, BB. It's been a while. Tennessee Mama, Crystal Burns, Ministry of Defense, One Red Rose, Teresa S., Lady Tara, Jackie with the 4 months, Morning Jess and Melons. Hey, B Tim, it's about that time. Rebel Soul, T Berry, Thank You Money Moves with the number 24, ASAS, Delicate, Titanium, thank you, good morning, everybody. Rabbit Hole Survivor, Goody Two Shoes, Cynthia, Mrs. Fletcher, Colin C., I don't think we'll ever let you leave. I will hunt you down, my friend. Hunt you down. 29 months. It honestly, it blows my mind, to be quite honest. Like the amount of things we have been through in those 29 months, and the fact that you have remained is, believe me, I truly appreciate it. Haley Michelle, capital K, Feisty Nana, Happy Beach, Miss Odin, Mama Michelle, Fletch, Mr. Blue, Turning Leaves, thank you as well for last night. Bert C, Migsy, 19 months, good morning, Felon Melons, Crimson Moon, Literally Davis, GB Folk, Jay. I think I got Lori, Sweet Sativia, Turtle, good morning, Ramona, All Signs, Marshall Dove, Froggy, Ellie Only One. I need a laugh. We just dropped our son off to leave. Oh, sending you virtual hugs. Hey, Agent 99. You called a nasty tiger by his toe. Eeny, meeny, miny, moe. Hey, Andy Rose, thank you as well. No, I know I say this wrong, but hey, Festige. Good morning. Glitter is forever. I think I've reached everybody. All flirty. Make sure you get all your stuff done today. Yeah, this is scary. I'm definitely thinking of all of you. Uninvited ghetto superstar. I was hoping someone's gonna cover T Frill's newest shit. Yeah, I'm not. I was a little surprised, but I guess in reality, I'm not surprised. Thank you, Festige. It's just going to be your name from now on, my friend. Hey, PJ Vision. Hey, Honey Nut Nipples. Honey Nut Nipples. Nano 3, good morning. Brown color used to seem so weird. Now look. I know. Look how far we've come. Ain't that the truth? Hey, Keto Kim, Shelly M, definitely prayers for everyone. When there's things like that going on, and then there's, of course, like children that are just disappearing and all that stuff, it makes everything else seem so stupid, irrelevant. And that's exactly what I think it is. Hey, Deborah, thank you for becoming a member. Welcome very much. Hope you like Crocs and don't judge felons. Going in the pocket. All right, Trish. That's usually what I do. Especially yesterday, did a lot of running around. Oh my goodness, it felt like my day was never ending. Hey, CK. Good morning, Charm and Jenna. Thank you, Weeb Gob. You know what I mean, Colleen? We got to tell them what time it is. But anyway, we did come across a few things that were very concerning that came out of Mr. Uncle Taco. Good morning, QB. I'm sitting here thinking, do I acknowledge it? Do I not? Do I do it? Do I not? Charm and Jenna, thank you so much. Craftania. Good morning. Good evening from Australia. Hey, William Eyelash. In this first back-to-back Cat 4 or 5 hurricane flare seen a long time. Can't remember two so close to each other coming this strong. It's scary, Marshall Dove. It really is. You tell him, Julie R. Bust out the caps on them. That's right, Crystal Burns. We do recover. Crime Brulee, good morning. Divine. So I'm sure some of you seen it. Some of you probably haven't. Some of you probably never will. But there was this big deal made last night. And I'm just going to address it shortly. I don't know how much I care to get into it. But there was a big deal made over a comment I made in Queen Bee's chat. Queen Bee was live. I'm doing my thing. I'm listening. I'm in and out of chat. I'm running errands. And SS made a comment and said, I've been waiting forever, blah, blah, blah. And Queen was kind of like, what are you, huh? Like, what are you talking about? So I responded, you said you showed the picture of Emmy, LOL. Well, man, that became such a big deal. Such a big deal. It turned to, I was begging Queen to see the photo, I reminded her several times, and literally it was one damn comment. It wasn't, this whole big thing it was made out to be. And then it turned into the photo was a dox and blah, blah, blah. But as I had just heard, as many of you that were there heard, this person was saying how they love that photo of themselves. They were pretty in it, and they were. And that's what I wrote after the photo was up. I'm like, listen, she's not an ugly girl at all. Like, she's a very pretty woman. You know what I mean? But of course, those screenshots weren't taken. What's the big deal, girl? I wish I knew.
Good morning.
Good morning. Oh, man.
Good morning. I heard there was a whole shit show last night, but see, listen, I didn't even know you were really involved in it until somebody had told me that you were fighting for your life.
I was about to say I was fighting for my life in that chat,
fighting
man.
for her life. Now listen, this is how.
Yo, that chat was vicious, Queen. Like, okay, joking aside, to say you're on the moral ground and have a chat be so fucking filthy at me, I was shocked. I expected better.
Hypocrisy at its finest. And listen to this. So I even talked about it yesterday. Jonesin, as aka Sludge, you'll hear me say that. That's her nickname. So anyhow, Sludge goes on and shows a picture of Crystal Langford from YouTube. Okay, we got into it in the inbox. Kathy got mad. She's like, don't be doing that. She thought it was a Facebook photo. No, it was from her avatar on YouTube. Just like the picture of Emmy was from her avatar on her YouTube. Just like Sinners was from his avatar. So you're telling me it's okay for you to use Crystal Langford's avatar from her YouTube, but it's not okay for me to show Emmy's that she used on her own YouTube?
Well, she also used your photo too that was doxed.
Hypocrisy at its finest. And then you got this idiot that makes videos every single day with my photos, but I show one of Emmy and you guys want to lose your shit? Oh, I'm showing all of them today. So
right. And literally all I did was remind you what Essa was talking about. I didn't find it to be a big deal because, as you just said, she used that photo.
Right.
Now and there was people making comments like, oh, that Pamela, that can't stand me. Oh, does anybody have the tooth photo of Granny? Bitch, so what? I had a missing tooth on the side of my mouth. I got it fixed. So the fuck what? But like, they're the type of comments that were in this, morally sound chat. And I'm like whopping off these, and admittedly, this is what pissed me off.
Riding in on their hypocrisy horses and shit.
Yeah, and admittedly, she never, a lot of those accounts she never seen. No shit, because they were troll accounts. They came in strictly to fuck with me. But guess what? Each and every one remains.
That's okay. Right. That's
each and
okay.
every
That's
one
all
remain. I
okay.
mean,
It's okay to fuck with you. It's okay to do hypocrisy bullshit. It's okay to check your kids' social media. It's okay.
shit
It's
has me
all okay.
fucking
It's
angry.
okay. But if we do it, bitch.
And again, like I said, the fucking photo, she used it. You just played a clip where she's like, I don't care if you show my photo. I was hot, I'm hot. And she was. She's a pretty girl,
She says,
whatever.
okay. How you gonna be like, I'm hot, I'm hot, I'm hot? But then when the photo gets shown, take it down.
Well, and here's my thing, right? Like, okay, why did Jones cover it and not Emmy? But then to top it off, you got him in the chat talking about hashtagging himself, talking about hashtag trending. Then he's like, I'm having a fantastic night. Anybody else? Well, wait, I thought this was all at the expense of poor Emmy, who's so upset by it. But you're like, right here,
Oh,
like
he's loving
loving it.
every second of it. He got it. He
That
finally
really
got
pissed
my
me
attention.
off.
He finally got it. He finally got one day of my attention, and he is like, girl, like a teenage boy that just got him a first girlfriend.
Yeah, and like they over exaggerate all of it. And then what, like I said, to allow those comments to remain against me, like, yeah, like you know what I mean? I was like kind of cool with her. And she's sitting there saying like how she respects me. She was just disappointed. You want to talk about disappointed? I'm fucking like baffled. And not only that, but like a lot of the mods, I was cool with all of you too. So the fact that you all allowed those horrible comments about me to not only remain, but to continue while we're talking about how wrong it is to do X, Y, and Z. Again, no horrible photo was shown. And then correct me if I'm wrong, because the photo I recall, she was beautiful in it. So I didn't see, like, it's not like we're taking like she had a cam slip and she looked
Oh, it's not like you're
horrible.
showing her mug shots or anything. I
Right,
mean,
fact. But correct me if I'm wrong. Then I found out the photo you showed wasn't even
was
the actual, it was fake. It was an AI photo.
yes, girl, off of someone else's YouTube.
And then I'm sitting in there like, I'm even saying like, she's not an ugly girl. And I'm like, you got any of those SS? Because you kind of made it like, I was like begging and I was instigating and I was hyping it. And then what was ironic is this all started because they said Mystery was being followed and watched in other chats. But then you're going to do a whole stream over my one fucking comment out of thousands?
Well, and not
Hundreds?
only that, though, listen, Mystery goes chat to chat to chat and starts shit
She
and
knows
talks
what
shit.
she does.
And she
She
knows
knows.
exactly what she
I
does.
went
And
at her like a
that's not
week
the first
ago.
time she's done it.
Yep.
So when I got the screenshot sent to me, I sent it to her and was like, hey, what's up with all this? Like, did I misunderstand? Like, what's going on? She never said anything back to me, nothing. Apparently, she was blocked in my chat. Okay. People go all over. They're not just in your chats. They're not just in my chats. They are all over. Right. They go to different chats. They see what you say. They see what you write. They're going to call you out for that when you're going chat to chat, stirring and starting shit.
And
especially
she's been doing
subs
that.
really fuck with you. When you have subscribers who have your back, who are loyal and really fuck with you, and you fuck with them, they're not going to be okay with those kind of comments being made.
Right.
When you're in a chat saying, so I'm so sorry, sinner, I'm so sorry, when he's calling motherfuckers pieces of shits and shitbags and
well, not only that,
breaking women's kneecaps. I mean, he's abusive as fuck.
Well, not only that, but all right, so I can understand like it being like exaggerated, like she was begging for forgiveness, because I didn't feel she was begging for forgiveness. But then they were like, well, she was called up to the principal's office. I'm like, she knocked and walked in that door. Nobody said to do this publicly.
No,
she decided to.
And listen to this. She was in my back chat, and I said, Mystery, if you want to have a chit chat, like privately, I'm cool with that. Like, I don't really give a fuck. I was just asking you what's up before. You know what I'm saying? Because if people start talking shit, I'm not going to delete it. I'm not going to stop it. You know what I mean? It is what it is. You don't get to run around these streets and act a fucking donkey's ass and then cry when people call you out for it.
I snapped on her like 2 weeks ago in the chat for something similar.
And then she plays victim and cry. Oh, why did I? Stop it. Stop.
Well, first off, it's one thing. Like people are like, oh, well, what happened? And we can go whatever chat we want, blah, blah, blah. Of course you can. There's no doubt about it. I've always said I'll still side eye you for where you're at, but I'm not going to treat you no differently because you're there unless you're joining in on this shit. And I know the way she was phrasing it was like, oh, I had it all wrong about you. So I can see why you'd be insulted. And that's why the whole history lesson came into play.
Exactly. The only fucking reason we showed that is because that is the only reason why Sinner was pissed off, and it was true to begin with from the very fucking start.
Right. So, all right. So, long story short, the chatter mystery was over in a chat, and she was kind of doing the whole like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know this." Like, she was siding with what they were saying. These are people that trash Queen all the time. Like, literally has a channel based around trashing Queen. So, of course, she got upset. Queen got upset, being like, "Well, damn, girl, you're like a member in here. You're here every day. Like, don't lie. Your feelings would be hurt too. I know mine would be." So anyway, Queen does her video, and Mystery decides to come up on panel and present it to everybody. And Queen even
And not
says
only
like,
that,
"Well,
she came up and sat there, and I told her I can talk to you privately. You don't have to do this, but she wanted to do it publicly because she likes that attention. She likes that. Oh my god,
oh,
you know what I'm saying? Like
that would make
I
more
can just tell
sense."
that's what it is. So it is what it is. If you want that attention, that's the kind of attention you want, then go ahead.
Right. So then people kind of wanted the backstory of like, well, what's the because a lot of people don't know who this person is because nobody highlights them because of the content they're making.
Kind of
So
like this girl Summer that keeps saying I won't let her on my panel, but she's never tried one time to get on my panel. So I
see, and
mean,
there's people that
fucking
do
weirdo.
that.
These irrelevant motherfuckers who we don't even know who they are want to get
Right.
mad. What?
That's like the amount of odd accounts that came in last night, and one was like, I'm unsubscribing from Granny, blah blah blah. I'm like, I never even seen you before. Like you're dog whistling. I know what you're doing, and for what?
Right.
Because my comment said you show a picture of Emmy, LOL. My comments thereafter was Emmy's a pretty girl. She has nothing to be embarrassed by. I'm like, you get any of those screenshots? Of course not. And then it turned into this because she was so far behind in chat, it kept circling back to being like I was the focal point. And I'm like, well, what? How the fuck did I do it? If you're not friends with this girl, how would you know that she doesn't want a photo that she proudly used to ever be seen again? Those videos were made up on her channel, correct? Or that's her fucking video, her avatar? That'd be like me saying, "Don't use my avatar from last year because I don't want that photo out there anymore."
But it's okay for Joneson to use Crystal Langford's avatar of her picture when
Or
she's
your
mad,
or
right?
or your photo that you didn't put out, you didn't want out.
Right. I mean, they use it every fucking day. Every fucking day. And she's like, Queen Bee strikes him down. No, I don't. Savage still has one up right now.
And again, it wasn't even a bad photo of the girl. Like the photo I remember being
Because
put
when
out
it's
there,
my
she was
turn, I
pretty.
don't want y'all crying. That's the only thing. When it's my turn, I don't want y'all crying about it.
Well, and that's what of course, the chat was attacking me.
We got a channel right now where Sinner's picture is going to be put every fucking day. Every day, rotated every day. Just like
Well, it
Lucky,
seems
like
like
he
he
does with
wanted
mine.
it, to be
So
honest. Like, again, I even said to him, like, I'm glad you feel great about all this, but how's Emmy feel? Because on one hand, we're like, oh, poor Emmy, but on the other, we're amplifying everything that happens. Because now look now, right? This would have been a dead conversation yesterday, but then it carried on to last night. Now I still got a lot of shit to say because the way I was spoken to in that chat, and you're gonna sit up there and say you had respect for me, I would have never allowed half of that filth. And then people that were defending me were told to knock it off and stop stirring shit.
yep.
Okie mom, you suddenly had a fucking issue with me because I'm cool with QB. And then to sit there and
Well,
try
and
to
listen,
say,
Okie mom, this is the thing. That trash mouth piece of shit. She come up talking shit about my fucking mother, my mother,
oh, I didn't know that.
because she didn't birth me. So because she didn't birth
Oh,
me, she's not my mom. No, that
see,
trash mouth bitch needs punched in her fucking mouth.
she told me that you had a problem with her because she was in my chat. And I'm like, I don't
No, it
remember
has
that being a
nothing
way
to do
that
with you.
way.
It has to do with that dumb motherfucker coming up on my panel talking the shit she said. She had the fucking nerve to let that shit fall out of her mouth.
I didn't even know that. And I've always been cool with her. Like I never, like got involved in any of that. And but then to tell like Katie B to stop it, that she's stirring shit while you're allowing those comments to remain about me, like that's the thing. Like, but like you just said, it's okay for them to say your mother's not your mother because she didn't birth you. But if that was said about them, it'd be a fucking outrage. It's okay to sit there and talk all the shit that was said in that chat about me last night. But again, if it was
But
reversed,
you got so much respect for me. You let your chat sit there and dog the fuck out of you, right? That she
and
got
then of
so much
course,
respect for you. Okay.
and then of course, when I said that, they were
Well,
like,
touching your
"Oh,
respect, I don't want it.
right,
Okay.
the chat's not bad, blah blah blah. Great, he's gaslighting." I'm like, I'm fucking gaslighting. I see, like, thank God I had others. I seen this shit too. To be honest, like, no, there was definitely the chat, and like I said, she even said like, "Oh, these are trolls coming in because of Granny." Right, so you knew that, like, you knew that. At least put on subscribers mode only so you can
Well,
fucking
she
go
had
off
four
it
or
next
500
time.
people in there, so I mean that's how she get. That's the only way she gets views. So I mean, of course she knew that. She
Well,
knew
and
that.
again,
If she were to block those motherfuckers, she wouldn't have fucking 400 or 500 people in her chat. She knows that.
Well, again, it's at the expense of, supposedly Emmy, who was so upset by it that we're going to highlight it further, right? Like, I didn't know that Emmy didn't want that photo. Again, I just heard a clip of it being played where she says, I'm hot in that photo. I don't care, show it. And then she herself used it. Again, we're not talking about a secret hidden, like, cam slip or where she looked horrible. She looked pretty. So what is the problem by me just clarifying what SS was talking about? They're
Look at
making
me
it like
saying,
it
have
was
a
the
holly jolly Christmas.
Christmas. Yeah.
It's the worst time of the year.
It's beginning to smell like bullshit.
And a fake big cup of hypocrisy.
Like, I don't get it. Like, I mean, I do get it, and I got it after, like, it was explained.
When you're following my fucking kid on social media to try and get a picture of her fucking car, yeah, we got problems.
And that was spoken about too, and they're like, oh no, she would tell where she got that from. That came from her own Discord, and
no, it didn't, because it was never shared in my Discord.
Mm-hmm.
The photo was only shared on my daughter's social media. So she shot herself in the fucking foot when she told me to go marinate on that, because that's the only time that photo has been shown. So
and you went through and everything and made sure.
Are you a fucking predator or are you a fucking liar?
And again, that was like the whole big thing. It was like, wait a minute. And I said to her, like, well, don't you find it a bit ironic that, like, you used that photo a few days ago in a thumbnail? And she was like, oh, good try, Kathy and Granny. I'll give you that. I'm not trying anything. I was literally baffled to find out that you just did the same thing a day or two ago. And then it was, oh, well, Emmy's no longer in the drama. Okay, but it doesn't change the fact that she was part of the storyline. Like, that's it. Which part, Josen? I thought I explained it well enough. Which part? Do you want a link to explain your part? Because I'll offer you that. Just hope dozens of trolls don't come in and start coming for your throat, because that would suck. And here's a...
Yeah, I want to know. I want to know how you're so outraged over me sharing a fucking person's avatar when you shared Crystal's avatar. Because that's a bit that's some hypocritical bullshit, if you ask me.
Oh, we also have this. So this is a photo of literally Davis fam off of relatives' social media that was used and put a slice mark across her neck.
Yeah, Sinner did that. Sinner went to her mother's Facebook, stole this picture from her mother or grandmother's Facebook, and then he put a slice across her fucking neck and threatened her. And this is who Savage hooked up with. So you think it's okay to go stalk my daughter's fucking Facebook, a minor child, like a fucking predator? You sick bitch.
And that was kind of just like brushed over. And then again, because...
Oh, that was definitely brushed over. But let's get mad about a picture that was shared on YouTube by the fucking person. Fuck out of here with that.
And then because she was so far behind in chat, you literally, Josen, because you were so far behind in chat.
Oh, they do that dumbass shit. The chat, you know how, as well as I do, how the fucking chat moves. Girl, come the fuck on now. Stop that I'm behind in chat bullshit. Come the fuck on.
It'd be like, I'm all the way back up here, so by the time she read something...
45 minutes behind as the chat's fucking rotating through. Come the fuck on, dude.
And all it did was keep reuniting, like, just go at Granny, go at Granny, go at Granny. And again, for what? Honestly, for what?
Anybody that was in there that fucking defended me got timed out.
So I don't know if people got timed out, but I know they were told to knock it off. And
a lot of people did. The only reason Emmy was brought up is because that's what Sinner was white knighting for. That's who he was white knighting for. That's why he's mad and doing all the bullshit he's doing. It's specifically because I said she had a fucking child from her fucking school, that she is a teacher, and she had one of her students in her fucking live. And I said, why are you showing them Bullhorn Betty's fucking shit when they're a minor child in your fucking classroom? You are a teacher. Shame on you. I'm not a teacher. I'm a fucking felon on goddamn YouTube. I don't have fucking morals to follow and rules to follow and shit like that. Fuck you talking about? You are a fucking teacher in a school.
Right. No, I get that. I get why you could be behind in chat, but because you were behind in chat, I continue to get attacked because every time you're restating what I already got, and then you're is making it like I don't fucking understand what you're saying, but you already said it 5 times. Of course I fucking get it. And then your chat just kept going at me because you kept
Cats and
repeating
kittens,
it.
I wouldn't believe that. You know, she said Savage got the new car from Betty. Yeah, Betty said it, but Savage is the one who said she had a picture of it. So she shot herself in the fucking foot when she said that. Because the only picture that was ever shown was on my fucking 16-year-old child's Facebook. So cut the shit. And I apologize for doing this on your panel, but I'm fucking sick of it.
No, because it is infuriating. I get it. I totally get why you're upset by it. It's like, okay, we're gonna be so upset and call it a dox that Emmy's photo was shown, that Emmy herself used and embraced and just made a whole statement how good looking she looked in it, which she did. She's not ugly. And that's all of a sudden a dox. But then, like you said, Crystal Langford, she had your photo up from the other day, where somebody literally dug into your minor child to find out if you bought a car or not. But the big deal there was Emmy's photo? And then I found out it wasn't even Emmy's
we're not
photo
mad
that
about
was
anybody
showed.
digging into a minor child's social media. We're not mad about that. We're mad about a photo that somebody already was already shown on here.
Well, I seen it stated, did you show proof? And I'm like, well, how are you to get proof of how somebody else got that? You can't prove a negative.
No, show the picture, Savage.
Right, Jones, and they're not your subs. So why at that point wouldn't you delete them, knowing that they are just trolls there to attack me? If you had any respect for me, why wouldn't you delete them? Why would you allow those type of comments to remain about me? I would never let anybody come in here and come at your looks the way they did, call you all the names that were called, any of that. I would never. I would delete it in a heartbeat because I respected you. That's the other thing. Did you say you were looking for Savage's son's photo in Discord? And Savage can make because I saw on Facebook you want all the info on her grandkids. Well, yeah, I'd be upset about that too. She's okay with Sinner doing that to Cube. So was it Sinner that did it or was it Savage? With the kids' photo.
I'm sorry.
Was it Sinner that did it or was it Savage with your child's photo?
Savage is the one that said there's a clip. Here, I'll go grab the clip for you. Here you go.
Because if they have their YouTube pictures themselves, you're awful. I mean, come on. That's how I felt. Like, I felt like she was pretty. Like, I literally went on to say as much after the photo was up. I'm like, she's actually a pretty woman. Like, she was very pretty in the photo. Then I found out because, when you're on your phone, the screen being shared is already small enough. So then the photo shown wasn't even her photo. So I'm like, well, what is really going on then? And I can't help but think it has a lot more to do with, there's just more to it. That's all. I didn't even know your kids' names. Did somebody send it to you? Because that makes more sense. Because I don't think you go digging for it at all. But I do believe people around would.
So why is that? Oh, Savage. Okay. You want to come in here? Okay. Bring your ass up here, bitch. You want to go fucking with my kid and digging in her social media? Bring your funky ass up here, bitch. Right fucking now.
They should be. They should be Angel Sleuth.
Here, matter of fact, here's the clip. It's already pulled up. Go ahead and pull it up.
Got it up. Play when you're ready.
Filed fraud on her because they said it was for the legal fund and she bought her daughter a car.
So Betty stated that I bought my daughter a car, which was a fucking lie to begin with, and the legal fund shut down on its own. You can look it up for yourself. However, listen to the shit that comes out of Savage's nasty ass fucking mouth. Predator ass bitch.
She bought.
Oh, she did. I heard that too. Did anybody else hear that?
You heard that
in the grapevine?
Because if
there may or may not be a picture float.
If I fucked with your granddaughter and had pictures of her car, you'd be okay with that? You'd be okay with it if I had somebody go take pictures of your fucking grandbaby Amanda? You'd be okay with that? I don't think you would.
Floating out around somewhere, just saying, of a new car. I'm just gonna. Anybody else hear that in the grapevine? There may or may not be a picture floating out around somewhere, just saying.
So where's the picture at, you predator ass bitch?
To clarify,
Since
you
stalking
don't
my
mean
fucking kids' social media.
to clarify, you don't mean sexual predator.
No, I
You
mean
know
a
how
fucking
people will
predator
take
going
that.
after my motherfucking child's fucking social media. I didn't say a sexual predator. I said a predator.
I just want to clarify because people hear that word and they relate it to that, and she's not that. Where did it come from? Who sent the photo? That's the real question. You're
Right.
swearing it wasn't in your Discord, which means somebody looked up your child's social media.
The only place it was fucking shared was on my daughter's social media. So you shot yourself in the motherfucking foot with your bullshit. And then she tried to say, no, I got it from Google Photos. If you Google photo my house, the last one that was taken was in 2022. Nice try with your fucking lies. So, bitch, was you on my kid's social media?
What, Kelly Ford?
You're in my minor child's fucking social media. But it would be okay if I was in your minor fucking child or your granddaughter's social media. That'd be okay with you?
Wait, did you threaten her kids?
I'm asking you. Because it's a motherfucker, ain't it?
It'd
be a motherfucker if I had somebody taking pictures of your grandbaby and whatever she got going on, right? Wouldn't that be a motherfucker?
You're speaking hypothetically. Let's clarify that, Queen, because you do sound like you're coming for kids right now, and I know you would never. And to be honest,
if I did the same shit with her fucking grandbaby, she'd be motherfucking hot, and you can't tell me she wouldn't.
And she would be, and I'll be honest, I've never heard Savage go for kids either, and I have to wonder if it's your new association.
Oh, I'm sure
people
are
trying to say to me.
She said it out of her nasty ass fucking mouth.
Chat.
And no, bitch, the gold car's mine, you dumb fuck.
How would anybody know which car is which anyway?
The gold car is mine, you stupid fuck.
Answer that and I'll prove it. I missed what she said.
She's talking about the Google photo she's trying to say she got. She got a Google photo from 2022, from 2 fucking years ago, with a car in my fucking driveway.
Huh.
So you shot yourself in the fucking foot. You're a lying piece of shit. You either got it off my fucking goddamn child's social media or you're a lying ass bitch. So go ahead, post the picture. I got your fucking address too. I can post pictures of your fucking house and the cars in the driveway too. I can do all the same shit you're fucking doing. Bitch, ain't nobody scared of you.
Why are people looking up people's houses?
Exactly. Oh yeah, because we go real life. That's what they do. They go real fucking life. That's it. That's all. I hope everybody that's subscribed to you fucking watches what goes on right here.
I didn't know her daughter had a vehicle.
I have a fucking lawsuit fund that is for my lawsuit. I have fucking AdSense where I get paid on the 22nd of every month. Do you not get paid on the 22nd of every month?
Yeah, 21st actually.
She's monetized. Just because you ain't getting, just because your check's a fucking couple $100 doesn't mean that. Don't mean you got to come for me.
You can turn your camera off, Granny. So is there a photo or not, Savage? Like, were you talking shit? Do you really have a photo? Did somebody send you a photo? Or was it just like, you know what I mean? Like, where did it come from?
Dirty ass bitch that goes real fucking life, obviously.
See, I don't think it was hers. I think she would have said something sooner. I think somebody else did it and passed her the info, and she got angry and repeated it. That's honestly what I think happened.
Came out of her fucking mouth, didn't it?
Hey, Grady Bassmaster. Oh, you got a new car? I think the point is that people are looking up each other. Like, rather that be you're looking up somebody's address, you're looking up minors' social medias, people's family members. That's the whole point here.
Why are we even talking about damn new cars? I don't give a shit what she bought with her money. I don't give a shit. Johnson don't give a shit. My God. Don't dox. Nobody.
No, you trashy bitch. I said if I went for your fucking granddaughter and did the shit you're fucking doing, you'd be mad as fuck.
I'd whip your ass if you went after my granddaughter, girl.
Exactly. I'd be just like I'm fucking pissed off that they were on my kids' social fucking media because there's no other place that picture would have came from.
Look, you put yourself out there like this. You have.
Oh no, I didn't. I was doxxed when I got in a fucking frivolous lawsuit.
You need to put a stop to this right now. I had a lot of respect for you.
Granny Bassmaster, please. I'm responding to what was said about me. Don't tell me what I need to stop. This is the conversation that took place last night, and this is the part that's been missing, respectfully. Like, this is the part that was glossed over. And I love how all these people have a lot of respect for me, but I don't ever see none of you ever in my fucking chat. You know what I mean? Like, let's cut with that. I had a lot of respect for you shit. Respectfully. She's making hypothetical. See, that's the problem, right? She says, how would you feel if it was done to her? We know she's angry because her daughter was dug into. I clarified, and she clarified that it was hypothetical, yet it's being made that she's threatening people. She's saying, how would any of you feel it? And all of you be mad because you were all mad about a photo that somebody themselves used. They themselves used the photo. So what was the big outrage about that? That escalated it to all of this. Did somebody send it to you, Savage? Did somebody say to you, like, hey, I seen a photo of a new child or, whatever?
It came out of her mouth. She said she has the photo. She may or may not have a photo is what she said.
Right, but I honestly don't think she was on your kid's social. I think somebody else was. I do believe that.
Well, that's got to come from her. She got to be the one to say that because it came out of her fucking mouth. So you either got it, you either the fucking predator going after my motherfucking minor child or somebody else is. So what is it?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to ask her because I'll be honest, I really don't see her doing it. I don't. Or it would have been said a while ago. I believe there are people that we know.
Yeah, I didn't see her doing the shit either. But then again, I didn't see Jones sitting here trying to say, you guys showed Amy's picture when she showed Crystal Langford's picture. So, I mean, the hypocrisy is fucking deep around these motherfucking parts.
And that's all I was saying. Like, this is all over a comment. Well, for my part was all over a comment. Your part was the whole thing, I guess. And everybody's saying like, oh, well, Mystery was, she was pointed out and blah, blah, blah. Okay, but you would all be angry too. I mean, Savage, you yourself had told people, if you're over in this chat, don't come back to mine. So why is it different when Queen takes the same approach that she didn't take that approach, first off, but Mystery brought it to the forefront.
And of all people, Jones, and damn the fuck well, my legal fund is for my fucking legal fund, and my AdSense money is fucking mine. That is what I get paid on the 22nd of every month, just like Savage does, just like Betty does, just like Granny does, just like anybody else that's monetized does. Fuck. Go ahead, serve me then. Serve me, bitch. Send me a fucking lawsuit. Serve me, bitch.
I just think, truth be told, anybody
Keep digging into my kids' social media because that's some predator ass shit, Amanda. Serve me. I wish the fuck you would.
Let's see who's next to come up and scream. I don't even know how to block it.
I'll get off your panel, love.
Do you know Bitter Tea?
Yeah, I know Bitter Tea.
Oh, you want them up?
I don't care. It's up to you. This is your panel.
I don't know who they are.
Yeah, she's good people.
Oh, Bitter Tea.
Hey guys.
Hi.
Hey baby, how are you?
I'm fine, babies. I don't know what happened I don't know what happened yesterday.
You got us on the TV, baby.
I just took it off. I figured out what I did. Sorry about that.
Hey baby, it's all right.
I don't know what happened yesterday, but I don't understand for the life of me why, when there's an argument like this, why sit there in the chat and argue back? Why not get your ass up there on the panel and say what you got to say?
Her name's not Savage, it's Sewage. She's a scary ass motherfucker. Can't speak for herself. You can sit here and threaten that you got my kid's picture of her car, but you can't come up on a panel. Scary ass bitch. Stop lying on you. There's a clip of you. Fuck you mean? Predator.
I just don't understand that. I've never understood that. I think so much could be eliminated if you would just sit there. Just listen to each other. I'm not saying that that's right. I don't understand either. Children should be completely off limits, whether or not you have a problem with the adult or not. Children are off limits. I don't care what the parent has done to you. The kids are off limits. Because I'm going to tell you what, you wouldn't have teeth left if you messed with mine. That's just all I got to say about that. But
I'm going to let Jones and come up, Bitter Tea, if you don't mind.
Oh, that's fine.
I'll step down because I ain't in the mood.
You don't want to talk to her?
I'll catch y'all on the flip side.
Well, I'm out too. I'm sorry. I just wanted to say I just think that everybody needs to be able to say what they got to say, and I think it should be Savage addressing Queen. That's just what I think.
I think it could all be resolved if people talked. That's what
exactly.
I think.
I agree, Granny. And I think that also the people in that chat that have got so much to say about that this shouldn't be addressed and that, that Queen should have more respect for you. I think that they just need to let them talk. I mean, heck, let them be adults about it. But that's all I got to say. I'm out. Thanks.
Thank you. Good morning, Joneson.
Good morning. I mean, I thought I made it pretty clear what I meant last night. And by the way, when I said you and Cappy were cute, it's because y'all were trying to make it seem like I put Queen's picture on that thumbnail to be malicious. The difference
I was asking if you did it. Because the fact of the matter is she didn't want that photo out there, just like Emmy, right? So, like, in actuality...
Then why does she keep showing it?
Why did Emmy keep showing it, too? Right.
No.
Emmy used it, too, girl. She used it for, like, a good week and a half, 2 weeks.
Absolutely, she did.
Right, so what's the difference? Has Queen used that since then?
She continues to show it. Every time she talks about it. But the thing is, I don't know if y'all just didn't like hear it or what, but I took my accountability last night and said, you know what? Now that I think about it, that's kind of true. Even though my intentions were not malicious, that is kind of true. It is kind of the same thing. A little different, but kind of the same thing, because even though I didn't mean it maliciously, Queen could have took it that way. And so I said I would never do that shit again. But that's just going to be ignored and glossed over.
Well, I didn't hear that part, to be honest. I just heard you say, like, good try, it's not the same. And I'm like, well, honestly, I wasn't saying it's get like one up. I was asking, is that true? Did you use the photo a day or so ago? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I did. And I didn't think of it in that way until Cappy said something.
Right, which is why I didn't think of it in that way either when I said you would show Emmy's photo, because Emmy herself embraced it. I just heard a clip of her saying how pretty she looked in it. And I agree, she looked pretty, which was my comments thereafter. So, like, to highlight that one comment and dog whistle to the chat to be so disappointed in me and all these things. And it was like, for what, though, Joneson? For what? Well, I'm not close to Emmy. How do I know she wants that photo shown her again?
It wasn't about dog whistling to the chat that they should be disappointed. It was about talking about how the focus was not center, which is what they supposedly intended for it to be, that it turned into being about Emmy. And I don't know, it just crossed my mind, like seeing you and SS say, remind her to pull the photo up again when I know Emmy doesn't want that. It was just kind of like, it was a disappointment. That was my opinion in that moment.
No, I get that. But so when I was told about it, I was told that you said Granny kept reminding. I went back several times.
I went back and listened this morning. The first time I said you asked a question about Emmy, and then before you even came in, I corrected it and said that you reminded Queen. So no, that was whoever told you that.
I didn't feel like I was doing. I didn't feel like I was reminding Queen. I felt like I was just clarifying what SS was talking about. Right. I didn't see it as like reminding, because again, to me, that was a photo that she used. That was a photo she was proud of. We heard the clip. I could see if it was like a very unflattering, cam slip and she looked so goofy and bad moment type of photo, but it wasn't. It was a very nice photo. Like, she's a pretty girl. So to make it like I was being all like joining in on it, and then my comments thereafter were saying like, she is pretty, and but it was like that was highlight to be like, oh, look how mean Granny is. Granny was reminding her, and no, I wasn't.
I don't, that was not my intentions to make it seem like, look how mean Granny is. I had no intentions. I was just talking to my chat, and I said that I seen your comment and I seen SS's comment, and I was a little disappointed because it was like, why bring her back to that? I understand Emmy is a pretty girl. She is. I understand all that. But the point I was trying to make was, you weren't being malicious, but Queen was, and she knows she was. So to remind her to bring the photo back up, I don't know, it just didn't sit right in my mind. Like, why? And even later, as we continued to talk with you in my comments, I said, well, I can give that benefit of the doubt that you wasn't trying to be malicious. You don't know how Emmy
feels necessarily,
But
right?
Emmy herself says she wasn't bothered by it. So again, I don't understand the whole like hype around all of it, which
I
is why
seen
I said I
the
feel like
comment I seen was her saying she was disappointed.
well, I seen comments last night of her saying like the photo didn't bother her. I guess it was more the conversation based around the photo. And again, I was in and out, not for nothing, but it's fine. As I understand being disappointed, but the way you allowed your chat and some of those chatters, you admittedly said they're not your subs, to just have free reign and take that moment to like go for my throat.
They didn't
But
have
that
free
I was
reign,
sincerely
Granny.
disappointed.
They did not have. Well, I mean, they didn't have free reign. The mods were getting them.
Oh, it seems to me it looked like they remained, and then they just, just it was the same part, just kept coming back.
Who was it? Pamela?
No, but Pamela, get the fuck out of here with Pamela. Why don't she show her damn face? We know you don't look like that little fucking animal as your avatar.
But no, as far as I knew, the mods were taking care of it because I was so behind in chat. And no, I'm not lying about being behind in chat.
No, I believe you were.
What happens is on my phone, I hold the chat still so I can read the comments because I like to try to get to everybody. And then it just ends up getting me 20 minutes behind.
Right.
So,
And then when you get those 20 minutes behind, though, you're now responding to it in that moment, although it's been clarified by what you just said before that. So you
right,
literally
I
just kept
agree.
going in circles, and then you were
I agree.
reigniting the hate. Then you had people in your chat being like, oh, Granny, making it all about Granny. But respectfully, I felt like you put that focus on me, not me. My comments were done and said for. I said, like, I didn't know that Emmy didn't want this photo out because she used it. Where was the rest of the like? I just feel like it was very over exaggerated, if I'm being honest.
I mean, it might have been. I felt like in the moment I didn't take into consideration that maybe you thought Emmy was okay with the photo since she's used it before. And that's why I said, like, okay, I take that back then. Like, if that's not something you were aware of, then how could you be at fault for it? I said that last night. So I don't know. I knew this would turn into even bigger thing with Queen too. And it's like,
Oh yeah, it just that moment. If it was so bad for Emmy, respectfully, why amplify it? Because now it's amplified, and now it's just going to reach more people, which honestly is sad for Emmy. And then you had the other person in the chat being like hashtag their name, hashtag trending, like they were fucking loving it.
who
So
is
is it
that?
really? It
What
was
were they
him
hashtagging?
himself. Like loving it, like, oh, hashtag center, hashtag trending, hashtag,
Oh,
like, why
Center
though?
was doing it?
So it makes you wonder, like, is it, you know what I mean? Was it really that horrible for Emmy? Are we all so sorry for Emmy? Or is it more like, let's all just jump on and find a reason to be fucking outraged? And
Well,
that's what I said, that I feel like this is deeper. And I still feel that way.
for me, and you're entitled to feel that way, but to allude or agree, or what was it you said? This isn't about what was done, it's about
It's about
who
who
did
did
it.
it.
And to me, that's an unfair as fuck to say, considering I stand up for her all the time. I
I
have
was
my
talking to
opinions
your
of
chat
her.
at that point, Jonesy.
Huh?
I was talking to your chat at that point.
Oh,
Because then your
well,
chat started coming for me like, well, why are you friendly with her? Oh, and then you made that comment about selling out morals for views. Let me tell you something. I get views just fine on my own. Like, go back to even before I was cordial with QB, I was still getting the views I was getting. So
yeah, but you ain't gonna try to rub elbows with people who aren't getting as many views as what I said.
What do you mean? I mean, with utmost respect, I still go into people's chats when they have 25 in there.
Mm.
And rubbing elbows by what? By being in a chat and commenting. Like, I see that's the problem, because everybody
I don't
gets
know,
lumped
things
in.
have changed. I mean, I don't know. I'm not the only one that sees it. Things have changed. Like, I worked super hard to make sure I came and still continue to support you after you started talking with Queen.
Right.
Because then on Beats' live, you brought that up and I thought that was unfair. And I said, no, so is my support just going completely unnoticed because you're sitting here saying that you feel like everything changed when
That
you
was like
started
months
talking?
ago, though.
No, I know, but this is what I'm saying. You said that a month ago. I didn't feel like that then, but I do feel like that now.
Oh, okay, I see. And why, so, because, all right.
I don't know. It's just like something's changed.
Yeah, okay.
But then I didn't feel like that. And I felt like I worked really hard to make sure I came in and still supported you. Well, not worked, because that's not work, but just trying to show you that I was still here for you, and that you having a relationship with her wouldn't change anything for me and my support.
Right.
And I continued to stand up for you where it was needed. And it's just like, it was pointless. It feels like it was pointless.
But why though?
I don't know. I don't know. It's something I'm going to have to think about, but I feel like something's changed, and I've been trying to figure out what it is. And as
I
for
don't know what it
Queen,
is either.
I
I
don't
mean,
give
I'll
a
tell
fuck
you what I
about the
think it
money.
is. I think you have a lot of people around you that want you not to like me. You're intertwined with a circle of people who don't like me. So of course you're going to see those things, and it's probably going to feed your opinion of me a little bit. So maybe that's what's going on. But as far as like treating you differently, or I still always say like, "Hey Jones," and when you come in chat, I highlight you. So I really don't know what else could have been done to make you not feel that way, to be honest. But it
I
would
don't.
explain why you would allow those comments, to be honest. I mean, that explains a
I
little more, because
didn't.
I
I
thought
don't
we
know
were
why
cool.
you think I allowed any comments. I couldn't even keep up with my own fucking chat, Granny.
No, you're right. It was some of your mods for sure.
But
I,
I
I,
thought the
I
mods
expressed
were.
disappointment at that too.
I mean, and I'm not looking at chat right now, so I don't know if my mods are in here. But I thought the mods were booting out the stuff, because then there was somebody coming in there talking about the cancer shit, and they booted
Yeah.
them, and then I pinned a comment to say, don't do that. Like, don't come in here spreading that shit.
Right. And then when KDB, because they continued to come in under different accounts at that point, and when KDB started defending me, she was told to knock it off and stop starting trouble.
Well, there was 3 KDB accounts.
Oh, well, KDB's in here today saying it was absolutely her, and she was told to stop starting trouble.
Well, who told her to stop starting trouble?
Okie, Mom.
Okay, well then that's something I need to talk about with Okie. But I didn't recall. Again, because shit was flying, I didn't see most of that. But I did see someone say there were 3 KDB accounts that were in there. And so maybe, I don't know, was Okie talking to the real KDB, or was Okie talking to the troll KDB? I
KDB
don't
said
know.
she only saw herself in there. I don't know where the other KDBs came from.
I don't know. I just seen a couple of comments that said, because I went back and rewatched this morning just to make sure of what I said and how I said things. And
Wait, let me ask something, right? So I'm supposed to now protect everybody in my chat, but the same respect wasn't extended to me. With utmost respect, Lindsay, I literally said you're not calling her a P word, right? She's saying she's a predator for going after kids. If that's how Queen feels, that's how she feels. I don't feel that way, because I made it very clear I don't believe Savage did it. I believe
I don't
somebody
either.
probably else did it and told her about it, or perhaps sent it to her, and she repeated it out of the heat of the moment. But I don't think she went seeking out any child, because she's never done this shit before, as far as I've known, as much as I've known of her. And no, she didn't. She said she needs to be punched in her face. I mean, that's how she felt. I'm not responsible for what Queen's saying. And with utmost respect, Okie didn't protect me, so why am I protecting you? Like, I mean, I'm just, you're yelling at somebody who's defending me in chat. Yeah, of course I am. She's responsible for her chat. I'm responsible for mine. Absolutely.
I don't think Savage looked up Queen's daughter's socials. From what I understood from my friendship
Somebody
with
else did
Queen
it.
is that all of them have locked down socials. I don't know if that's still true today, but I went in Queen's to try to verify and figure it all out, because that is a heavy accusation. So, and I was timed out and nothing was answered. So it was like, okay. So then I went back to Savage's and was like, so did you do this? And Savage said no. And I believed her and I left it at that. But I did try to go. And as far as the money, Queen, I give 0 fucks about that money. 0 fucks. Now, I understand why other people care about it, because they feel like you're up here saying you might not be able to go live anymore because you ain't going to be able to afford StreamYard, but yet you're out buying a new car. I understand how people are upset at that, but that ain't me. I'm not upset at that. I said you make enough money on your own YouTube channel. I don't even think you fucked with the lawsuit money to buy the car.
I think Queen's responding in general to everybody who's saying it, because that's the implication behind saying that.
Well, she directly said, and Jones, and I've got my money. My
You know, that's
accents
horrible
money is my
background.
money. And the lawsuit money is the lawsuit money. That's what she said before she got off your panel. So I was just addressing that because, yeah, I agreed. And I just,
That's
I
not
don't
true,
know.
Tashi. That's not true at all. No, not true at all. I haven't seen anybody go for Jones's looks. I haven't seen anybody go for Jones's a lot of things. There's a lot of the comments, and no, what people are saying is, oh, you're a snake or you're gaslighting, but they're certainly not going for it personally on a personal level.
And
Queen
that's
Bella, is
cool.
that you? Queen Bella?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah.
And Queen Bella.
Hi, Johnson. Hey, Granny, I just want to let you know that I was literally more out than in last night because I'm here taking care of my grandkids. But when I did come back in, when I saw that crap that was going on about you, I was scrolling up and I was deleting. And I know a lot of other mods, it was just the chat was going fast. And, like, I don't want to be in the middle of anything. And I know you said you were going to email me, but I just wanted to come up and tell you I'm sorry if you were disappointed in me. Because
Oh
you
no,
said you were
I didn't really
disappointed.
see you in there much, Queen Bella, to be honest. I just don't want you
Okay.
being in an awkward position, because I feel like this
Yeah.
is going to escalate everything further, and a further divide is going to be made.
I'd prefer not to be in anything. Like I would like to be somebody who's just here saying hello to people, being a mod and supporting people without having to be involved in the petty drama crap.
Right?
I
That's how
feel
I
like
feel.
that's, yeah,
I
I feel
mean,
like that's what it is. Like, you don't have to be involved,
Like, I
yeah, I
never
don't.
knew my comment was going to be such a big deal. I didn't look at it the way
Well, I
it
didn't
was looked
either,
at.
honestly, Granny. I just pointed out something I seen that was disappointed in, and it went from there. Like, the uproar was there. People were
Yeah,
upset.
and I think the other thing is that not everybody was like technically watching the whole chat through Queen's entire live, right? So I think maybe people see things here and there and they're like, it looked like Granny asked for the picture, or,
Well, that's
you
how it
know,
was stated. It was
yeah.
stated that Granny reminded Queen for the picture, and Granny begged Queen. It was made like I made several
Hmm.
comments when I made one.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
I know. And I think
I
Joneson only
didn't.
showed one, right? Joneson, that's the only one
Yeah,
you
I
knew
only
she
showed
said.
one
Yeah.
comment, and I only said that the first time I said you asked about the picture, and then I corrected myself and said you reminded her, but obviously you didn't remind her either. You were clarifying for her what SS was talking about.
Yeah, I mean, I
But I corrected
honestly, it
that
was.
immediately. I went back and listened this morning. I corrected that immediately.
Yeah. And I would just like to address Sammy C told me to go sit down, stop complaining. No one brought you in. I was brought in the beginning when.
Yeah, I mentioned her name because she's a
Thank
mod
you.
here and she's a mod there, and I don't want her feeling
Thank you.
any type of way between anywhere.
Okay.
I
No,
don't
and
even
I don't want
want it to be
anyone
anything
thinking I
more than
was.
what it was.
Yeah, and I didn't come up here to stick my nose in anything. I just came up because I heard you say my name. I'm here taking care of my grandkids. So when I thought I could get a quiet moment right now, I was going to just jump
Uh,
up and let you know that, when I was in there, I was doing my best. I mean, I even had people asking me if it was the real granny because of some stuff that was being said. And I'm like, I'm confused because it's going so fast.
Oh yeah, because at that point I was fucking angry. Like, I
Oh, I know.
literally had all these people who have never been in that chat coming at me saying the most ridiculous things. So at that point I'm like, fuck this. Like, why am I even going to sit here and try to explain myself? For one, a link wasn't offered, so trying to respond from the chat is
it
ridiculous.
Yeah.
was. I should have offered the link, but it was just so hectic. It wasn't even supposed to be but like an hour-long live. Like,
Yeah.
it ended up taking up my whole fucking night.
Yeah.
Joneson came in saying to people like, "Hey, I'm not watching chat right the moment I'm, like she was in the middle of making
I
dinner, but she was doing this live, and that's how she ended up getting behind. But we were even trying to tell her like, Joneson, you're way behind. Like,
Yeah, I had so many Discord messages when I got off saying how behind I was. But I do want to address Kodo. I can absolutely agree with what people feel about that money. It doesn't mean I give a fuck. It both can be true at the same time. Do I think that she's grifting for money and buying new cars? Yes. Do I care? No. I'll comment on whatever the fuck I want to comment on. Y'all don't run me. But I'll make sure that I won't stand up for her anymore, her or her children or her finances or whatever it may be. I won't do it anymore. Because y'all don't want to focus on that. You only want to focus on the negative.
Well, and to be fair, Jones, and that's how I felt when you highlighted that comment of mine. But then you kind of mocked me when I was like, "Did you show the other ones?" Where I was like, "No, she's pretty, and there's nothing to be about," you know. And I was defending her, and you're like, "Oh well, Granny thinks if she said nice things afterwards, it doesn't matter." No, because
Well,
my
yeah,
intent
that's
was
how I
never to
feel.
shame her.
Hello, I just want
And
to have one
My
question.
comments
Oh,
thereafter prove that. My comments thereafter prove my intent was never to shame her, because I do
No,
think
I
she's pretty.
understand that. I understand that, Granny. But in the moment, because I was so behind in chat, I was thinking, okay, so does that replace it? You know, like, does that make it better?
Well,
My
I kind
phone,
it
I'm
shows
on
intent.
12%, so if it goes dead, just
It,
know.
it
But
shows
but
the intent, because if I wrote the comment like you said, you show Emmy's picture, LOL, and then the picture's up, and I'm saying she's not ugly, she had nothing to be embarrassed of, she's a pretty girl, blah blah blah. It shows my intent was never to mock her or make fun of her or be like, oh my god, Emmy's so ugly, or I would have said all that.
can I ask one question, Jones? And I want to be civil with you, Jones, and it is what it is. Didn't you strike Crystal Langford for showing your husband's face and you
Yes.
thought that was personal? So
Yes.
how is someone just bringing up someone else's kid not personal in a live stream? Even if she
Hold
didn't,
up, though, BTM. Who
Mhm.
said it wasn't?
Okay, no, okay.
I
So you're saying
came
it
in
was
Queen's chat trying to get clarification on it yesterday. Nobody wanted to give me answers. In fact, Nene timed me out while I was trying to figure it all out with y'all. So I don't know what
okay.
to tell you. No, it is
But you
personal.
listen, yeah, and you listened to the recording, right? That was played by
What
Queen Bee.
recording?
That
Today?
was just today, the live with when Queen was playing Savages, what she said.
Yeah, absolutely.
Would you be annoyed if that happened to you? Like someone actually brought up like your 16-year-old kid and said that?
Absolutely. I've stated that from the beginning.
Okay, no, I mean that's just basically what I just wanted to bring up. That's pretty much it. I just think Queen got very. I think that bringing up Queen's kid on a live seems a little. It's unnecessary, to be honest with you. I mean, you can go at Queen. You know, there's plenty of people that make lives about her. It is what it is. If it's on the YouTube, you can. But I thought that was a little inappropriate to bring up
I
her
agree.
kid.
That's
You know
why
what
I
I mean?
don't do it. If somebody does bring up her kids, I'm usually the one standing up for her, saying, listen, I might not fuck with Queen, but she's a good mama.
Mm-hmm.
Did you say it's okay because blank screens her mod?
What?
That's why I'm asking. I don't know. No, Lindsay, you made comments last night too. I've seen them.
The only thing I said about blank screen was you're going to be mad about somebody bringing up, I don't even remember what I said. I'd have to go back and listen. I said something about you're going to be mad about people go in real life while you have blank screen as a mod. That's what
Well,
I
and that
said.
was my comment, right? Like, you're going to be mad about what they're doing to Emmy right now, but
Right.
everybody supported the DV body cam videos. And then you compare that to the videos that Clue brought out. The difference being,
No, I
Clue
was
and
talking about the
YouTubers.
videos that Center brought out that Queen also played.
Oh, well, I
No,
didn't watch her play them. I didn't support. I stated from the very beginning, I don't support those being played
I
at all.
did play
So I
that.
wasn't
I
mad
did
at
play it via J for Justice because I thought she was actually. I never watched Center. I never actually have any clue what his channel is. I can't even bring it up because I don't even know.
Well,
how you
I
can even
never
bring it.
watched it.
So I saw it for J for Justice, and I saw that there was actually a video of BHB being arrested. Now, do I think about it today? Should I have played it? Probably not.
Well, I never supported
but
it. I
That's what
stated
I
that
was
very
saying.
clearly. So I
But see,
wasn't in
that's
the
what
chat
I
when
was.
that was being done.
That's what I was saying, though, Granny. Is it wasn't a dig at you? It was saying you can't use that when you're in the chat of the part saying it in the chat of the person who also played that same body cam.
Well,
yeah,
no,
I mean,
I still feel like I
if
can have that argument because I didn't support when she played it and I don't support when he played it. So I feel like we can't say like this is that because I said that day when news came out, this is going to set a precedent that nobody's going to like.
I agree.
Your body
I
cam,
remember.
I didn't support that shit.
Honestly, if I knew the origin of that video, I probably would never have played it. I thought it was actually J for Justice that actually got the origin. I don't even watch Sinner. I don't even pay attention to him because I just once I don't like you.
I think I shared it I never played it, but I did.
Yeah,
I did
and
think I
Queen.
shared it on my community
Yeah, and Queen had
tab.
like no idea. Basically, Queen came back and I was like, "Oh, you want to? Can I play this video?" And she said, "Sure." And you can watch live. I was the one that found that video and played it, and because I was watching, I watched
the-
Jay for Justice
But
basically.
the point
rather than
still
Jay.
remains to say, like, how can you be angry when blank screens your mod was the same response I had. How can you ask me how I feel about this when you all support that? It's whataboutisms, right? To justify our own
It
actions.
is. I agree.
And that's what I was doing. Like, don't come for me. I'm not the one that did this. I'm not the one on QB's panel. I'm not the one telling her to do this shit. I simply responded to what SS was saying. Had no idea it would lead to all of this at all.
Let me see. Jason, what did it? No, you didn't do anything. I'm saying that you got the. Didn't you get the video from the body cam
Oh,
footage?
yeah, we told
Like
her
you
she didn't
clipped
do
it.
nothing wrong that I'm
Yeah, she didn't do anything wrong. I'm just saying
I mean,
you got
it's a
and you
moral
clipped it.
thing.
Yeah.
If people support that, they support that. I never supported it from day one.
Yeah, I mean, like personally, I think it was. I stand by the opinion that it kind of shows a pattern of behavior with Betty, where she basically shows like. But then I think
That's
about
the
it,
way
as this,
I took it.
and the problem is, then I thought about it, and people had an argument about like, okay, what about the guy? He's being abused,
Right.
and maybe we're just kind of like reopening the abuse for that gentleman. So sometimes I do something, I think about it, I said, yeah, maybe I shouldn't just for the husband, not for Betty. I don't think I think Betty's the abuser. I think the husband was the abused, actually. I think he was in an
I agree.
abusive relationship, and that's just I
It
think
was.
like that's my opinion on that.
It was more about the only reason I did entertain it was because it is showing a pattern of what she does to people.
Yeah.
So would I share it again? No. Like we've talked about this before on another live stream, but my whole point was, and Indy, I don't know what to tell you, baby. Emmy came in my chat last night and said she was disappointed. So I don't know what to tell you. Sorry.
I think a lot of people are feeling disappointed at this moment. I think everybody's feeling disappointed based on, I don't know what. I just think there's a lot. Yeah, I think Betty's a shit human too. I just don't think that means we should go ahead and dox her and her victim and look up all her life shit, because if it happened to anybody else, they'd be upset too, which is why you should know better than to think I would ever participate in what was labeled a dox.
Oh,
I didn't consider it a dox by any means.
Someone asked me, why do I have a problem with Savage? I don't have a problem with Savage until she had a problem with me for some reason. I don't know. I was always cool with her. I always defended her. Jones can probably tell you that. I defended her multiple times in the past. And then suddenly she basically went at me and Queen for a time slot. And I don't know why. And honestly, then at one point, it was a very weird scenario where Jenny Jen comes back from almost dying in the hospital, like dying from COVID. And I jump on panel and she starts doing this weird laugh. And I sat there, I was like, are you really going to start drama when Jenny just got out of the hospital? And I said, listen, I'm not going to do that, Jenny. I just wanted to support her for coming out. And I jumped off. I wasn't going to have an argument. And I thought that was a very bad timing to do something like that. And I don't know what's with her thought process right now, why she's doing what she's doing, to be honest with you. I feel it's kind of doesn't make sense to me, to be honest with you. The whole thing doesn't make sense to me, honestly, because
if I'm not mistaken, Savage felt like it went. I mean, you got to be able to put yourself in other people's positions. Like her and Val are doing this morning show. They've been doing it for a couple of months now. Queen, I guess because it was summer, she was on a different schedule. So then suddenly Queen's like, fuck it, I'm going to cover Betty too, and starts going live right on top of Savage and Val. And they felt some type of way about it. So that's what got it all started.
Yeah, but I just don't understand. Like, to me, like, honestly, it's like, I get it. You might get annoyed with it, but like time slots, they don't exist. And we're not syndicated TV. Everyone, I mean, you can go live exactly the same time as Queen. And if you got like 1,500 people and Queen got 200 people, would you care? No, because it's your show. It's your, you know what I mean? It's just same as Granny. I mean, I'm sure Granny will sometimes goes live at the same time. She'll have a separate subject or the same subject. It's not syndicated TV. And the fact is, I guess you could try to talk to someone, but like, it is what it is. I mean, then you got to have to kind of entertain the people. I mean, it's just how it is. And to get
but they were, to be fair, they thought they were friends, so I can see why that's upsetting.
Yeah, but I don't know. But to jump to this extent is getting a little weird. I get it, but I mean, it seems like it escalated. You know, that's my opinion.
And they both play a part in it, just like we all play parts in the shit that goes down between all of us. Everybody has a role. Nobody's hands are clean here. But it gets old feeling like people are, putting their hands in the mud and then hiding them and telling you they're clean, but they're not. I don't know. I don't know if that's the right analogy, but it's like, bro, accountability, like, it's not hard to say, okay, yeah, I might have fucked up. I might have did this, or I might have said that. What's so hard about it? Instead,
Well,
it's
the problem
point,
is,
point.
the problem is that no one has a civil conversation, and then everyone basically listens to every person in the chat that tells them a clip, and then you got people gassing you up, and that's pretty much it. And that's probably what happened with Savage. And that's
The
probably
point
what
is,
happened to a lot of
because people defend who they like and they ignore who they don't, right? We ignore the wrong being done to people we don't like, and we defend the people we do like.
people.
Like saying again that like my comment was so disappointed, and it was exaggerated at first. You did correct it, but at that point the chat heard what they heard, right? So they're imagining me over there like begging her to show Emmy's photo and repeatedly saying, when it was one comment, and none of the comments thereafter were followed. And then to that to be called a dox and then act like I participated in dox was even further wrong, when I just saw the same people were just over in a chat last week saying that showing somebody's criminal record and putting up their family members isn't a dox, and they're tired of hearing people cry about it. So that was okay, but showing somebody's photo that they used themselves wasn't.
Well, I didn't say the photo itself was a dox. It was part of the dox that was initially
I don't think
released
the docs,
by
if someone puts it as their
by Blake
avatar,
Stone.
I mean, that's like me saying your avatar right now is a dox. I mean, you're doxing yourself. I mean, that's
No, again, like I said, the photo was a part of the original docs put out by Blank Screen, is what I was saying.
What photo?
I went
did
back and
Blank-
listened again this morning just to make sure, because everybody kept saying I said the photo itself was the docs.
What are you
And
talking
that's
about?
not what I was saying. I was saying when he doxed her, like that was one of the photos, not even the photo, but one of them that
Yeah,
he
if I
doxed
remember,
her with.
I'm trying to remember the exact scenario because there's a lot. You're talking about the scenario where he was going through the messages and he accidentally showed something. Is that what you're talking about? And then he just kind of deleted the stream and then kind of redid the new stream with it blanked out.
He put something on his community wall, if I'm not mistaken.
When was that? I don't remember that.
Oh God, I don't know. This was over a year ago.
Yeah, I mean, like I feel like the whole situation is my understanding. Okay, Betty had doxed her well before Blanks. Yeah, my understanding was that wasn't the fact that Emmy was doxed by Betty.
I know she was accidentally doxed, but
and also was doxed on Morbid's chat when she was doing an interview when Morbid was doing an interview with Betty.
Right, but thereafter she used that photo.
Yeah, and then
therefore
she
it's no
used
longer a dox.
Yeah. Like she used it as her avatar for a week, and so did Sinner. I mean, like to me personally, I think like you should just ignore it, like just like deny a dox and never like do that. I thought that was a terrible move by them, to be honest with you. I don't know who gave him that advice, to be honest with you. But it is what it is. But I don't think it's a dox to show an avatar. If you put an avatar on and you did it for a week, then
Well, to top it off, it wasn't even her photo that was shown. So then I was even more mind blown. Like, wow. So that's what I'm saying. So what is the real issue? And I think you know as well as I know, Jones, and there is a deeper issue here, because it was expressed by you feeling like ever since I started going on Queen's panel, I don't acknowledge you anymore. Where I honestly didn't feel that way. I felt like I always made a point to be like, hey, Jones.
No, I didn't say you didn't acknowledge me anymore. I said something's changed, and something's only just recently changed for me, at least.
Yeah, see, I feel like maybe that's a little, and I'm not saying this to be disrespectful, but it's the same thing how I felt when I said I feel like that's a little like personal paranoia going on.
It could be. It absolutely
I don't feel
could
I ever
be.
treated you differently, and I never would. Like you know what I mean? I thought we were.
Yeah, I mean,
you gotta think though. Immediately, like let's use Clue as an example. Queen can't just have these relationships with other creators without dragging me through the mud to them and telling her side and making it seem like I'm the only problem.
I've never spoken to Clue I mean, I'm sorry, I've never
I don't
spoken
know.
to Queen in private, except for one
Oh, I don't
email
know.
exchange that had others in it as well. Like, we've never
But
had a
I'm
private
saying
conversation.
that could add to the paranoia is what I'm saying. That could be part of it because that's exactly what happened with Clue. And it's like you
Yeah,
didn't
that's how
even
I felt. I told you the same thing. I know that all of a sudden, two people who's never been in that sector, have never been in that chat, were suddenly moderators, and all of a sudden the tone towards me changed. I that was exactly how I felt back then
in
too.
my chat.
No, and Deep, which
Also,
is why I brought it up to her.
also, my understanding is Betty doxed Emmy, and I'm not Emmy before. I mean, like I'm before Blank, and I don't think Blank did it on purpose. I think he originally accidentally, when he was live streaming and responding to like some sort of chat, he accidentally showed some information. But that's pretty
I
much
don't know.
it.
He kept that up for a good bit. I don't think that was an accident, if I'm being honest.
I don't. I mean, like
Yeah.
that's just my opinion. That's my understanding of the facts of that situation. To be honest with you, and also it's like this whole argument that, like, that's just my understanding. And
Now, I do feel people can be doxxed more than once because there's a whole new
Oh,
audience.
absolutely.
But I
Absolutely.
also felt like that wasn't a
Queen
dox because she embraced the photo, and we just heard a clip of her saying, like, I look hot in it. And she did. So I didn't think that there was like any harmful happening by showing the photo.
Well, I think because I know Emmy and because I do, like, I'm around the same people she is, I feel like maybe it's because I know that even though she embraced it in that moment, right, for that week or whatever she had her photo up, once she took it down, it was down, and she's never put it back up. She's never cammed up after that.
doesn't she have the videos of her live still up with the image?
Yes, I think she does.
So that doesn't really, like, unless you took down those videos, then it doesn't matter.
But
I'm
that's
just
like that
saying
one
she's
time
not
I changed.
blatantly going around putting herself out there.
That's like
if
that
I
one time I
show,
changed my avatar to a photo of myself that I really realized didn't look right in the circle thing, so I removed it. Am I allowed to cry dox every time somebody uses that?
yeah, I mean,
Like, I just feel like it was exaggerated so much, and I honestly believe because of where it was, I feel like I was judged based off where I was, and that's what's happening here. I
Well, the
do. I think it
problem,
has a lot to do with it.
the thing is, though, Granny, the photo wasn't even the biggest thing. The biggest thing was supposedly, they're going over this to show the history and
well,
how
they have
Queen
to.
and Center
They
have
have
gotten
to.
to the
I'm
place
sorry.
that they're at, right? That was the intentions. So how the fuck does currently bullying even more Emmy? Like, the focus was not on Center at all.
Well, I
That
mean,
was my whole point.
I'm sorry. Sorry for interrupting. My apologies.
The photo was a tiny, tiny part of it. It just blew up.
Yeah, but I mean, like the whole point, the reason why those clips are out there is because they were on panel all the time, and also that was the origins of basically Sinner. Sinner basically jumped on Queen's panel to curse her out because he believed that Queen was lying about the whole kids in school type of situation, and then he proceeded to continue to go at her because of that. And then it turned out that that was absolutely 100% true, and then she never corrected Sinner, and she let that ride for 7 months or 6 months. And it turned out that people clipped it, and then he never apologized for it. He never retracted any of his remarks. He went into discord against her. So it's kind of like you kind of need to show the history with Emmy, and also a lot of his comments, like going after Eileen and beating her up on the
But
front
that's
of her
what I'm
house.
saying, BT.
They were on panel.
If you're discussing Center, then discuss Center. Yes, Emmy is involved in the past stuff, but she's not in the stuff currently. So why was she the focus yesterday? You'll never convince me that it isn't because they can't get at Center any other way other than attacking Emmy. That's my opinion. That's
See,
how
I
I
do.
feel.
I disagree with that, and I'll tell you why. I get what you're saying, like, why wasn't it more focused on him then? But because it was the origin of how it began, right? So, like, that, unfortunately, she is part of that. So in order for people to understand how everything came to be, her time and position in it has to be played for people to understand it as part of the history of what's currently going on, because he hasn't stopped. And Emmy, from what I'm hearing, they just did a panel not too long ago where, again, talking about her. But I'm sorry that she's caught in it, truly, but at the same time, it's like she is part of that history, that timeline.
I agree. She was a part of that timeline of the tit for tat from the beginning. I just felt like the way they were going after Emmy yesterday was uncalled for. She's not doing anything anymore. She's minding her own fucking business. The focus was taken off of Center and put on Emmy. He was in those clips just as much as she was. I'm sorry. That's just how I feel. And I want to answer Queen. No, that's not why I went after Clue. I didn't find out that you were in the background telling Clue shit until after that. That's how I found out.
But if he was in the clips just as much, then wouldn't that?
Yeah.
I mean,
They want to attack. The
I
thing
get
is,
what
they
you're
can talk
saying.
all the shit they want to Center, right? Like they can call them. If the only thing that really bothered him was the military stuff, right? The stolen valor stuff. They don't make those comments anymore. But there's like they can go after Center, but it doesn't affect them until they go after Emmy.
Personally, I'd rather.
He didn't seem too affected last night, if I'm being honest. Like he
Yeah.
seemed like he was quite, relishing in this too. So
I mean, like personally, if my friend was doxxed, like if I had friends doxxed, I didn't go live and mention their doxes.
Highlight it all.
I don't highlight some of my friends' docs because to me, I feel like you're kind of fucking your friend over when you're highlighting their docs. To be honest, like if I knew like someone was getting doxxed in another live stream, I'd keep quiet as a church mouse.
Right. Well, and it wasn't a dox. Can we at least clarify that it was?
No, it wasn't a dox, but
No,
it wasn't.
Right.
By the way,
clarified.
Kodo says we went over 1 hour. It wasn't. We went over 1 hour of a video center. Emmy's clip was 10 minutes, and sorry about that, psyops. I interrupted you. My apologies for interrupting.
It's no big. I just saying I've only been around here again this time like 3 months, and I ain't even seen or heard about this dude a single time. I talked to a lot of people around the community, and I mean, literally, I learned who he was 3 days ago. So them people over there definitely ain't talking about him at all, like zero, none. And Emmy, I had no idea who that was, what channel she had, her involvement in it, nor frankly do I care about any of it. This is so dumb. All of it is so stupid. It would never cross my mind that an adult would be ashamed of their face. I wouldn't say that had I know that she was embarrassed of how she looked. I certainly wasn't trying to cause her pain.
I don't think she's embarrassed of how she looks. I just think that she worries about her career and
and wait a minute. But to say anybody was okay with that, I stood up for Emmy when that took place. So don't say I'm okay with that. What I'm not okay with is me being accused of participating in a dox when it's no longer a dox because, as you said, she used the photo. Her name wasn't put out. Her government name and address
okay with it.
No, Nunya wrote that comment. She said, even though y'all are okay with that, I was never okay with that ever. And her government name and her address were not put out yesterday.
The entirety of my involvement in it is that I was on the stream at the beginning. I usually work when I'm up here or when I'm doing this. I'm also working. I don't listen to all of it. She said something about a girl was hot as fuck and that she was going to share a picture. 2 or 3 hours later, I come back and I cracked a joke. If you remember and you looked at the screenshot you showed, it literally said that girl. I said that girl because I didn't even know what her name was. So to
I seen that. I said you didn't know.
That I know anything about any of this is absurd, and that I would try to maliciously hurt somebody while bringing up a dox that I don't know is just silly. I don't know these people. I don't care to know them. I'm not trying to hurt them. And had I known it would be an issue, I wouldn't ask to see a photo. But I'm going to say it for like the 8th time. If somebody says they're hot as fuck and has got a picture, I'm going to say, show it to me.
Well,
if you don't want to show it, if you don't want to show it, then don't say that. And I will never say it.
Right, because that's what the clip
said.
said.
That last night, though, and that's when I realized, okay, so SS, like, he doesn't even realize that he was encouraging Queen to do something malicious. Like, that wasn't what you were trying to do. Granny, can you highlight? Well, it's probably far back in the chat now. Queen Bee says Emmy is the only reason why Sincel is throwing a drunk baby bitch fit. That exactly proves my point of what yesterday was for. And when you attack somebody else to get at another person, that's weak shit.
But again, I don't think that's what it was. I think it was
No.
to show how it came to be.
Yeah, that was the origins of Mr. Sinner. I call him Mr. Sinner. I don't give a fuck. I'm not gonna name call. I don't really care. But yeah, that's to show the origins of the individual and what he did. And I think Emmy is guilty of not correcting him. She should have immediately, like, if it was me and I was in that position, I would have been like, oh shit, man, I really fucked up. I really did say those things on the live. And I would say, Sinner, don't fucking mention this again. Keep it fucking quiet. I'm going to delete those lives immediately. And because to be honest with you, I think the major problem with Emmy is she got way too comfortable talking about her real life. She should have kept that shit locked down immediately. She should have just talked about shit on here. But she talked.
And I defended her against that because as a new creator, you don't really realize how vicious YouTube can be and how harmful those beginning days can be and how it will stay and last and go after you.
I mean, like, that's the thing. Like, people will look you up. It's just, I mean, I had, multiple people say, oh, what do you look like? Where do you live? Where do you reside? And these are threats. I mean, like, that's how it goes, unfortunately. And I try to warn her. I was like, listen, you got to, like, lock things, especially if you're going after Betty. If you're going after Betty, you better lock everything down. You better not have any social media because that lady will come after your real life. She will touch your real life. And I tell this to every single person. And even subs, even like people who just watch. Simple as that.
Oh, my shit's locked down. I mean, I thought Queen said her and her kids were too. That's why I was in her chat yesterday trying to figure out, like, because that's a hardcore accusation to say. And then, to say that Savage was stalking her minor child and then today come on here and keep calling her a predator. That's the whole reason I went in her chat yesterday, was to try to figure out, like, how do they know that Savage went to social media? And if Savage did go to social media, how did she see anything? How did she find anything?
Well, Savage needs to, not mention other people's kids. I think it was highly inappropriate to mention someone else's kid on this platform. I think it's not appropriate to even talk about that type of thing. It would be, she got pissed off.
Well, and here's the thing.
Well, Queen, if it's locked down, you wouldn't be able to see the picture of the car. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Well, I mean, if she shows a picture of it and it's the actual car, what would you say?
Indy, I don't even use that Facebook group. God, you talk about me being obsessed, bitch. Go on.
Well, and to be fair, you have people. So here's my question, right? Even if somehow Queen was able to prove it, because obviously she can't, other than what she heard, right? So asking her to prove the negative is impossible. But even without that all out of there, the fact remains that somehow they knew that her daughter had gotten a car, right?
Well, did Queen not come out? I could have swore somebody said that Queen, after Betty, if I'm not mistaken, somebody said after Betty mentioned, because at first Betty was just saying Queen bought herself a new car, and then suddenly it was Queen bought her daughter a new car. And I could have swore somebody said Queen acknowledged that. So what if she did buy her daughter a car?
I don't remember Queen ever in any past live or Discord ever mentioning that her daughter got a car, actually. And I was kind of like, what is this? Just something people are making up? And then I basically hear Savage stating that line. And, like, honestly, Savage should not have stated that line. I think she crossed the line. I think she needed to, like, because in my opinion, it's like someone either is telling you information and then you say it on a live like that is, like, very weird. And then now she's saying that she went on Google Earth. So now you're saying that you are Google Earthing Queen where she lives, which is also kind of weird as well.
When I couldn't get answers in Queens about how she would obtain that, I went to Savage's and I asked her, and she said she absolutely did not go to any of her kids' socials. And I believe her. I think somebody else probably did.
That's how I feel.
Wait a minute,
I think somebody else probably did, but I also feel like Queen deserves to know that if that's the case. Like, if anybody knows somebody is like stalking out or looking into somebody's minor children, the right thing to do, because everybody is against it, is to say, and we say things out of anger. I get it. And I'm sure Savage said it out of anger. But at this point, it's like, all right, now just who did it? How do you know that? Just say it.
Yeah, like you have, like honestly, Savage, you have, if you know information that someone is looking up the information of a 16-year-old kid, you have the, you know, even if you don't like Queen, you should probably shoot her an email and say, yeah, I got it from so and so, and this is the person who told me this information. Because you have a responsibility, honestly. I mean,
And
just
the
like,
same thing goes when it comes to Savage's son. That should
Yeah.
never be brought up either.
I think
Nobody's
what-
family should be brought up, that especially nobody who's on YouTube. It's wrong. Is
yeah,
wrong.
I don't believe that his son should have been brought onto this platform. He is a person who does not go on YouTube, and I
Right.
thought it was very fucked up what PJ did to Savage's kid. It was not appropriate for what she did to Savage's kid. I mean, and it's like, it is what it is, and like, you know,
Queen, I did not get answers, girl. Y'all, you said to my question, because I've been doxxed 100 times. I don't know how you find somebody's kid just by their dogs, like by
Right, but
their
you're
name.
asking Queen to tell you how somebody else did something, and she doesn't really like, she can't. She's not the one that should be. How
Yeah.
can she produce that? All she has is a clip, and she went off the clip of what was stated. And what was stated was very clear.
Yeah.
Like, there may be a photo of it. So at that point, how would you feel? You'd feel like shit. Somebody's looking up my fucking kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'd
know.
want to know how and who and why and all the things. And that's what I'm saying. I wasn't trying to get her to tell me how to go find her kid. No,
Right.
I was asking a question as like, okay, how? Like, if your kid's stuff is locked down, first off, and then second off, how would anybody be able to find her name to look her up?
That's
Right,
very
so
easy.
basically,
Actually,
you guys won't believe that it happened, and that's what I'm saying.
I
Like, it's
believe it
clear.
happens. I believe it happens, but I think I'm naive enough
yeah,
because
but can I
said the only time I've looked anybody up on Facebook was Crystal Langford, and I just used her YouTube name.
Yeah, but
and
you
there
know,
she was.
yeah, but it's quite easy to actually look up kids, because once
I've
you have
never
someone,
dug into anybody
tell
or
people
anybody's
how-
kids like that.
once you have someone's address and their name, you can and you use the search, like those background searches. They tell you who their kids are and their family members are, and
Well,
then you can. Make
that's what Crime Sleuthing came in my chat and said last night, BTM, that once you have the address and the
Yeah.
person's name, that it's quite easy to find the children. And I'm like, what the fuck are they finding, like birth records and shit?
You could,
Like,
if you wanted to. That's why I don't let anyone, like, that's why I recommend to people that if they want to, for their kids as well, not only themselves, but their kids, they should have their kids email the background search providers and tell them to remove their information. And you could do that for free. You just basically go on Google and say, remove my information, and then you just verify with the email and it removes your information in 2 weeks. And then you could do that for your kids. So
well,
yes, you
the
could
whole
easily,
point.
with a home address, if I had your home address, I could probably look up your entire family line in probably an hour if I wanted to. Watch, I'm not like, I'm just making that not threat or anything. I'm just telling you that is the state of how society is right now.
So
Hey, Jess.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. You go on, because it's connected to what he was saying. I'll go after.
Well, what I was going to say is how. So all right. So the whole thing is, Savage makes that statement. QB is upset about it. QB's then question on how that can even happen when the question should be directed towards Savage, but that's overlooked. And let's be honest, because of who you like and who you don't like. Not just you,
I
Joseph.
did go ask Savage.
Right.
And then she said I went and asked both of them. Mm-hmm.
Right. But and then the whole thing with the whole mystery thing, it was like, all right, well, Mystery's comments were being watched and she was being judged for a chat she was in. But then you guys went and did the same thing to me in SS by looking and highlighting our comments.
I said you were right. I guess we did. Yeah.
Right. And then it comes back to the whole photo thing. Well, Emmy used the photo, but then you did it to Crystal Langford and you did it to Queen a few days ago. So again, I have to ask, is the anger really about the photo?
Well, I mean, Crystal Langford's photo is still being used every day on here.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's her avatar.
It's her avatar. Okay. Yeah, I didn't go. No, I didn't go get pictures from something else. No.
Yeah, it was from our YouTube channel, Crystal Ava. That's what I'm trying to say.
That's a little different. And I did say after you and Cappy were talking about it in my chat last night, like, I can absolutely reflect that even though I didn't put Queen's picture on there to be malicious, I literally only did it because it would have looked weird and stuck out like a sore thumb if I would have put her avatar while I had everybody else's pictures on there. I didn't want to make it seem like I was going solely for Queen. So I used one of the pictures she puts up when she talks about PJ and shit. So my whole thing was, even though I, in a malicious way, I could understand that Queen could think I was meaning it in a malicious way. And so then, therefore, I did do kind of the same thing I was talking about her doing to Emmy.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I accept that. And I said last night, I'll make sure to never do it again. That was a learning lesson for me.
Well, that's absolutely fair enough. I just, again, it's the whole cycle. It's the whole overall picture of all of it. Because at the end of the day, we're all being hypocritical. Yet we're saying, you're saying you're disappointed in me. Well, I'm highly disappointed in you as well. You know what I mean? So it then becomes what, and what does it really come down to? It comes
Well,
down
it
to that
wasn't
I
meant
was
to
in a chat.
be. It wasn't meant to be this big of a thing. I don't know why it turned into this big of a thing because
Well, Johnson, respectfully, you kind of turned it into this big of a thing.
Well, no, not really, because me stating that I seen yours and SS's comment, that why would people focus on that when the whole concept that I was talking about, the context of everything, was how everybody was going after Emmy?
Well,
I
the
don't
reason it
know. I
became
didn't.
focused on is because you kept, when I came in to comment and then you had to correct what you stated, you were so far behind in chat that you kept just focusing on my comments, making it then more focused on that than the overall message. Because I think a
Right, but
lot of us walked away with, oh, Grady did this. And then, of course,
right,
the
but when
comments
I'm
did that.
behind in comments, I don't realize that's what's happening in the moment. So
No, I get that. I'm just saying, I
that
think
wasn't
that's
my
why it
intention.
escalated to this place, because I honestly believe that your stream made it a little bit bigger and you did focus on me and SS. Out of thousands in the chat, at least hundreds comment, and our two measly
Oh yeah,
comments
I
were like the
expect
biggest
it
highlight.
from a majority of the others. That's why I was
Right.
disappointed.
No, I get that. I honestly had no ill intent. Again, we just heard a clip of her saying how hot she was. Like SS explained, a woman saying she's hot. Let me see the photo. When Queen was like, "What are you talking about?" I came in and clarified. It was like, you said you show Emmy's photo. LOL. I didn't see it as this big horrible thing. You all saw it as.
Yeah,
And
Of
honestly,
course
I
and
said,
I
not.
can understand that. I can understand you
Of
did.
course
And
not.
I said that last night. Like y'all
no, you
didn't
did, but the
understand
chat
it.
you did, but the chat still tore me to bits, and the whole thing was like, "Oh, Granny's gonna gaslight." And honestly, I felt like I was being gaslit at that point, but it's here or
Well,
there. And the comments were just fucking wrong, and off of what? A misrepresentation of the facts.
yeah. I just, I wanted to make it clear that I personally don't really care.
Half
I
the
mean,
chat don't even know who she
I
is.
understand where Jess is coming from, and I definitely want to support her. I'm with her 100%. But
Yeah,
I
because
mean,
highlight my comments going to bring negative
yeah,
comments towards me.
yeah, and I
Also,
try
I
to
would have never
minimize
done that.
that. I try to minimize that for her. Me personally, I mean, y'all, people gonna hate me. I mean, I'm not stupid.
do you wear Crocs?
Go
Well,
ahead.
the difference is,
I've never wore
Joseph said she
Crocs.
doesn't know
Never
how it
will.
became such a big thing, and I'm saying this is hell. That's hell.
Yeah,
She's
for
saying
sure.
because it continued to be like a merry-go-round because I was so behind in chat. Things were being clarified and I wasn't caught up to that yet.
Well,
Right.
why? But why? I just don't get the sub part of it. Like, I don't know. This is a difficult conversation for me because on the one hand, again, it doesn't matter. But on the other hand, like, I don't get the sub thing. I don't get why come after me or her or whatever else. But to each their own, I guess. You can't control other people, and you're gonna see stuff how you see it.
And SS, that's what I mean. Like, I understand that y'all feel like because it's y'all two that I mentioned, but it was literally only you two that I seen and was disappointed. And I was like, in that moment, I did not take into account that maybe y'all didn't realize that even though Emmy has shown her picture or whatever, maybe y'all didn't realize that that's not where she's at right now. And she doesn't want her photo and stuff out there. And I apologize for that. I apologize for not taking that into consideration in the moment and allowing myself to get heated over it, and it turning into this huge thing that wasn't the intentions. We were literally, I was talking about the things that were being said and the way Emmy was being gone after in Queens yesterday. And then it just rolled into, and I seen Granny and SS's comment, and they were, encouraging the picture to be shown, and it just went from there. It wasn't.
Yeah, but the picture is still up on our channel because she has the
BGM,
video
I don't
still.
give a fuck if it's still up on her channel.
Well, if I wanted to eliminate the source of the pictures, I would probably private those videos. That's just my opinion.
The thing is, BTM, was Queen wanting to show the picture to be friendly? That's my question.
Well, wasn't it just clip videos? Like those were videos.
I was just told she was hot, Af. So I just want
she
to
was
keep
being an
reiterating
asshole
that.
about Emmy thinking she's hot.
Well, no, Emmy herself said it. Emmy said,
Yeah.
I'm hot in that photo. Like,
I
she
know.
embraced it. And
Yeah.
I honestly was proud of her for that and told her as much. Like, you are beautiful. You have nothing to be
But
ashamed
that's
of.
y'all's intentions. I wasn't saying.
Right.
Like,
so you highlight our comments and put intent to it that weren't there and then allow the chat to obliterate us for 3 hours. Like, that's my whole.
Well, I'm sorry you feel that way.
I know that people are gonna hate me and probably currently hate me. There's probably people watching this right now that do. That's fine.
Welcome to the club.
You're not. I mean, you're not. Whether they type it in the chat or not, they're still thinking it. I just, I'm so far down on the totem pole of anything to do with any of this. I don't know. I mean, I don't even know. I don't even know the people involved. I don't know who that girl is. I didn't even know
get that
she
now,
was
and
the
I'm
Headstones
sorry.
channel. No, I mean, it's okay, but I just want to be real clear. Like, I was here for a long time back in the day, but then I've been gone like for several years too. So
yeah, and I do apologize for not even taking into account that maybe you didn't know the history and but KDB said it perfect. Like, it wasn't necessarily the photo, it was the actions surrounding the photo. And you couldn't know that. And I'm sorry that I put that on you.
Yeah. Yeah. I appreciate that. I reckon. I just, yeah, I mean, I can't say it enough. I'm just repeating myself, I guess, at this point. But if somebody says they're hot, y'all know me. I'm always gonna say, "Oh, shit, fire it up!" Put them on video. What's up? What's shaking? Let's do this thing.
Right,
but
that's how I felt too.
Yeah, I mean,
I didn't mean any ill intent. It was just, she was like, "What are you talking about, SS? What photo?" Confused, and I said, "You said you show Emmy, LOL." Like, it was. I didn't realize.
Don't talk to me like that, Kodo.
Yeah, I was just poking, making a joke. I didn't even know her name. That's why I said that girl.
That girl, yeah.
Jess was just like, helping me out because, again, just to show how little I know, I did not even know her name.
Right, but for me in my brain, like, in that moment, I'm thinking, why would you encourage? Why would you remind or clarify to somebody who's being mean about this photo to show it? I don't know. That's just where my brain was, and that's how I feel.
Jones, and we're so close to the Full House music background playing. When you learn the lesson at the end of Full House being played, but you just went back. You went back. We can't play the song now. Sorry.
What are you talking about?
Like you were saying that you acknowledged that you should have done that with SF, and I was like, we're about to play the Full House music. The ending of Full House, the music where like the kid learns the lesson. It's like doo doo doo. I'm trying to joke. Anyhow.
Oh my God.
Like at the end of the TV show where they come together and it's like, well, we can all share that, we've learned the true meaning of friendship.
No, the fact is, I do appreciate you acknowledging that, but I also feel like the damage was done. Like, I feel like the way that I was spoken to in your chat has me feeling so fucked over, quite frankly, over a misunderstanding. Ooh. And then I was told no matter what, whether I explain how I felt or not, it didn't matter because I'm just gaslighting and blah, 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 blah. And I really believe it comes down to me associating with the hive. I do. Okay, I feel like that's what it comes down to.
So you're saying that I said all that. I said all that.
You can always vent to me. You can always just vent to me. You ain't got to worry about that.
Thank you. What part do you mean, Joneson? Sorry.
All of what you just said. I didn't say any of that.
About like it comes down to me being part like associating with the hive.
No, you.
No, your chat was saying that. Your chat was absolutely saying that.
We can only handle the chat so much.
Well, with utmost respect, I have nearly 1,200 people in here, and I'm
And they're
handling the
fucking
chat just
dogging
fine.
me, and you're letting them because you're sour about my chat doing that yesterday.
Well,
Oh,
I'll be
let's
honest,
not.
I'm not keeping a closer eye on the chat and going to protect you
I
from
know what's
comments because I
up.
still
It's
haven't
cool.
seen any comments nearly as horrible. But I'll tell you
Oh,
what, these are
wow.
regular chatters of mine. They're not trolls that came
Okay.
in just to fuck with you. That I know for
Okay.
sure.
Yeah,
I
well,
mean, to be fair, they're all
Andy isn't
shit.
usually in here, and here she is. So,
Which one? I'm sorry.
Ooh.
Andy, there's a few in here. I'm not going to go through the whole fucking list, but
To be fair,
I'm
they're
just
also
saying
shitting on.
I get what you're doing. It's fine. I don't mind that you're letting the chat go.
I mean,
being
to
a
be
little
fair,
petty. Yeah,
to
I
be
am.
fair,
I'm
I
being
think
a
the
little
chat's
petty.
also the chat's also shitting on me. So I think I just didn't get it as much as you. So it is what it is.
Are they
Hell,
shitting on you too? I haven't seen.
my own chat was shitting on me at one point too.
So
But
I mean,
if people came in and started saying like, "Oh, Jones's, this fat, ugly, toothless bitch," and Jones and went at your looks, and then went at your medical, and then went at, yeah, I'd fucking delete that. But for
Oh,
people to be like, Jones is a snake or Jones is playing stupid, I mean, again, I feel like they're play school in comparison. But
honestly,
I'm also being
I'm
stubborn
full.
right now for sure.
I mean, honestly, I don't mind people going at me. It is what it is. It's YouTube. Everyone's welcome to their opinions. It's just like assholes. So I mean, everyone has
Yeah.
Some opinions
So
are more harmful than others, to be honest.
Well, that's a good point too.
And again, I felt like because everything was presented in such a negative light, and I've said this before, as YouTubers, we can do that. I can play some music right now. They do it in movies when a scary thing's about to happen in a horror movie. You set the tone. And you set your tone, Joneson, on a misrepresentation of not only my intent, but SS, and therefore made it free reign to everybody diarrhea their feelings all over.
But did I also tell you last night in my chat that was not my intentions?
Oh, yeah, I'm starting to shit. I responded to Jones and starting to shit last night. Yeah, you did. After I came in and
I told
corrected
you that wasn't my intentions, right? And that I was sorry. That wasn't what I was trying to do.
No, I agree with that. But then what were your intents?
But I was just talking about Emmy being bullied. Okay, so I need to make sure I filter myself. Like when I was
you don't have to
talking
filter yourself.
Well, when I was talking about it, and that's one thing I seen during that whole situation, that it was like harping on my brain, like, why would anybody encourage her to be mean about Emmy's photo or whatever?
Right. Okay.
Like,
so you felt like I was encouraging to make a mockery out of Emmy.
I felt like if you were in the chat and you heard her mocking how Emmy said she was hot, you would know it was being done for malicious intent because you're not a stupid woman.
I mean,
no, I'm not stupid at all. But I also heard Emmy say how she was hot in that photo, and I just simply said that's what SS is talking about. And in my comments thereafter, like you said, it doesn't negate it. But my comments were saying she is a pretty girl. It's not like I was like, oh, she's fucking ugly. What's she talking about?
But
no,
can I say
something?
I mean, like that's like saying people come after me for malicious intent because I hang out, because I hang out with Queen. There's people that dislike Queen, dislike me, and it's just like if you're going to talk about Queen, sometimes they talk about me. It's just how it is. She's near sinner. She's near sinner, and unfortunately, that's who she's near, and that kind of draws a lot of people's. If he's the one,
and it is unfortunate. It is. I mean, and no, I did not show the picture. Stop.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, we can
hear
you.
you.
Hi, my name is Kira. And
hey,
you know that we like a lot of you guys, a lot of you. And it's really hard for a big chunk of us when everybody that we like hates each other or fights all the time.
Yeah, I agree.
And we're scared to talk in this chat or that chat because we might be called shitsters or we're betraying the other person. And there's more people that needed to hear this than just you guys, but this is the first time I could figure out how to get on this by myself. We love what you guys do when you do it, and all of this is really taking away from a lot of it, but it does cause anxiety, and I'm not the only one who's feeling it.
Listen, I don't care if you go to any other chat to watch. I don't even care if you go to a chat that shit talks me. It's YouTube. Anyone can watch whatever. The only thing I do care about is if you wear Crocs or not. If you wear Crocs, I don't in the chat.
BTM, it is not the time for jokes.
BTM, that's what you do. You are the levity to Queen's heaviness. Sometimes you have a really good relationship that works, and I go other places and that works. But most of you creators have most of us. And it's times like this where we don't know how to behave or react because we don't want people to think anything. And I'm not staying up here. I'm not going to lecture. I just wanted to take a minute and
No.
let you guys know. Okay?
Yeah. Please share your opinion.
Well,
I
I
see you, and
appreciate that. Yeah.
you're always so kind and helpful and polite. I don't think
Oh, she's
anybody
right
would
though.
ever
No,
confuse
I do
you.
things wrong all the time, but the thing I can say is
Well,
I mess up so bad, but I know it and I try to make it better. And
yeah.
that's just all I'm trying to tell you is not do anything my way. Just know that it's anxiety on top what you're feeling, your anger, your frustration, your
Oh well, OG.
wanting to make it right again. It's hard for us, and I know I'm sensitive and the whatever, but I'm
No,
not the only
sensitive
one
is
I
a
agree
good
feeling
with
it.
that.
thing.
I think for people to ask me why I'm doing this, I think it's very well spoken for herself because it was presented, it was highlighted, and I didn't get to
I'm not
explain
saying you were
myself.
wrong.
No,
Honey,
not
you
you.
just
Casey
happened to
J.
be the person. Oh,
I'm
okay.
responding
That's all
to
I
the
wanted to
chat is
say
all.
about that.
But I do
Is
want to touch on what Kira's saying is because it does put people in an
I'm gonna
odd
mute for a minute.
position. And I feel like that's exactly why things have blown up the way they have. Yes, I added to it unintentionally. Yes, I did. But it all stemmed from Mystery being in somebody else's chat talking to Sinner. She wasn't talking shit on Queen. She wasn't talking shit on the Hive. So why does it matter if she's being cool with Sinner? The chats, we got to stop watching them like that. And that's me included.
Right, because
Because
you
look
went
at
on
all
to do
this
the
from
same
the
thing.
comments I seen of Granny and SS.
Right, that's what I mean. Like, so you went on to do the same thing, and that's what I was saying. Like, we all did something wrong here, and to act like, and you were saying last night, like, I'm taking the moral ground, but from where I sat, it wasn't very,
I was
moral
being a
standing.
smartass because that's what y'all like to say.
Well, I don't
and
say that.
here's my last
See, there
thought
you
on
go
this.
with you all again. You've looped me into a group that I'm not part of,
Well,
and
do
that's the
you
biggest
not
problem
call us
here.
judgy? I've heard you call us judgy. Or was it might have been in a chat.
You
It
guys
might have been in
going
a
through that right
chat. I'd
now.
have to go
You're
back
doing
and
that
look.
right now. You're
Who's
both judgy,
us?
and you're both calling each other out, and that's okay. But just say, hey, we're doing this. Move on.
No, because I don't call
Every
us
one of
judgy.
you
I
guys
call
has one
certain
message that
people
you're
judgy.
always on, and that is you want BHD and all these other folks to be accountable for what they do and then apologize and move on.
Yeah.
Just do that. Can you? I don't know how to get out of here. Can you please kick me off the panel? Because I don't know where the leave button is.
Just say Crocs 3 times and you will be gone.
You're just a hater. I agree, Katie B. I do. That's my stance on it.
I appreciate it, KCG. I just wanted to say too, everybody fails. We all fail, fall short, all the things. I mean, I wasn't suggesting otherwise, but I mean, as far as going in chats or whatever, I mean, I don't think anybody has a problem with that. The problem is if you're intentionally trying to do things to make people fight and or have issues.
I agree.
That's the only way I could see it personally being a problem, because
I agree with that 100.
it can, this stuff that we're talking about with the crime a lot of times is very extreme emotions, and not just because of the cases, because a lot of us have stories that brought us here and made us interested in the first place. So you're dealing with very complex things, at times complex trauma from people that are trying to discuss complex trauma, and a lot can go wrong. So when people are antagonizing, it's just particularly volatile. It's kind of why this exists to start with. So I just wanted to say, like, a little bit of grace goes a long way, remembering that God knows I mess up constantly every day, and I cut myself slack. So I try to extend that to others, and I just wish that we could do a little more of that. Yeah. That's all. Just following up on what Kira said.
Yeah. But I see that Granny's doxed you by showing your avatar. You're in big trouble, Granny. You're in big trouble.
Yeah, I don't think Mystery was trying to cause a fight when she was in Earth's chat. I think that people have such a hardcore hatred for Sinner that they lose themselves I guess, and like they see, oh, my member is over here being friends with this guy that I can't fucking stand, and it
I
turns
mean,
it
if
tumbles from there.
if you saw me being friendly with Sinner in another chat, I'm sure people would screenshot the fuck out of that and be like,
Well,
"What the
yeah,
fuck?"
you're the co-host. Mystery's just a sub, you
I'm not
know.
a co-host, just a panel guest, just like
Okay.
being a guest. Jump on many panels.
So then the big question becomes, are we going to go over Taco, Jess, or are we going to keep rolling with this?
Yeah, I'm absolutely going over Taco. I just,
Oh.
like I said, I wanted to respond to what was being stated.
And you should, absolutely.
It's all hypocritical is how I feel, and I'm going to
I
continue to feel
agree.
that way. I do appreciate that it was addressed. I also think when it comes to Mystery, I think, do I think that she was begging for forgiveness and everything it was made out to be? No. But I do believe that she made that a focal point, and now she's kind of getting some type of pity behind it when we've all seen what Mystery does. And I think we're acting stupid to pretend we don't. We know what was
Oh
happening
no,
there.
I said last night, like Mystery has done me dirty as fuck. You know, like it is what it is, and she's around in all these chats. The problem was she felt, and I do think she should have handled it with Queen in the background since Queen messaged her privately, but unfortunately her Discord's not acting right or something. But the best solution would have been to handle it in the background. But would you want to handle something in the background when there are people in a public chat right now, a public chat of 1,000 people saying that you was over there begging for forgiveness? No, you're going to want to click that link and talk to everybody at once. So I can't fault her for that.
I don't fault her for it either. I just find it ironic that the whole thing was over Mystery being watched in what chat she was watched in, and then that went on to be what happened to us. It's the same thing. Like, let's stop watching where people are and where they're commenting, and let's stop associating people just on where they comment.
So
Yep, I've learned my lesson.
So, but you're not. No one should go after subs for where they go.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Just making sure.
Should we?
No, I'm just saying, like, because in the past you kind of did that, and I'm glad you learned your lesson. I'm glad that you actually learned it.
When have I done that prior to this?
Let me see. Shambles says something. Let me see what Shambles said. You did a whole live on me, Joneson, for a comment simply saying B Tim wasn't a liar.
On who?
Shambles.
My Shambles?
No, not your Shambles. The other Shambles. Shambles, Absolute Shambles.
I've done a whole live on Absolute Shambles.
That's what she says. I don't know. So now
this is just going to become a nitpicking party. So I'm out. I'm sorry, Granny. You felt like I
well, I'm going to
perpetrated this whole thing. That was not my intentions. That's all I can say.
I appreciate that. It wasn't my intentions either, and I'm glad that could be clarified.
I concur.
But anyway, I just wanted to skedaddle. But thank you for having a conversation. You have a nice day, Jones, and you have a nice day, Granny, and SS.
You as well.
Take care, bud. Be safe.
All right, you bye. Bye.
All right, SS. I'm going to boot you down too while I get on topic. I appreciate you coming up. Thank you.
Always. Thank you.
All right, so now we will get on to the topic. Thank you to everybody who was patient about it. I appreciate that. I didn't expect it to become that long of the video. I actually don't even know if I should just end this video and start a new one because I feel like it's now intertwined. What do you guys think? Put a 1 for start a new video because it doesn't even belong together, or a 2 just to go live, just to stay live? What do you guys think? Start a new video, right? I agree. No, it's okay with the croc. It just, again, I think it's based off association. And I think people are thinking, I saw people making comments like, oh, Grady's just trying to earn a seat at the Hive and blah, blah, blah. Get the fuck out of here. Is that juvenile thinking that keeps us all divided? How come it's okay for everybody else to claim they can go where they want to go and like who they want to like, but then it's really not? And that's the fact. We can all pretend it is. You can all pretend like we don't care who goes where, but that's not true. It's absolutely not true. I was absolutely judged based off the chat I was in. I was labeled as being part of something I'm not part of. I've never had private communications with Queen. I don't talk shit. I'm not in her Discord. I'm not in private conversations with any creators for that point. And I think that we all just we get looped in, and I get it. I get it. But it's the same way when Josen was hanging out with BJ, who's literally my biggest, like, on here, pain in the ass, if you will. I never judged her off that or said like, oh, so I feel like there was a lot of hypocrisy. I feel like allowing trolls in that have never been in your chat just to go at me was done with intent. And I was being petty this morning. I was letting chats go through, comments go through too, because of that. But it was definitely misrepresented. And when that misrepresentation took place, no matter how much you acknowledge that, you already set the tone and allowed the chat to do what they do based off the misrepresentation. So I don't know. I hope it's clarified now. I hope it's cleaned up now. There's still going to be people that claim that wasn't my intent, and I was absolutely dogging Emmy. And of course, the comments of me complimenting her thereafter were not shown, but it is what it is. And with utmost respect, I owe nothing to Emmy. She used the photo. End of. Like, that's, how am I supposed to know she's not proud of this photo when I just heard her on a clip saying how, she's hot and she's going to use it. And, it's also petty and juvenile. And I feel like a lot of it had to do with who did it and where I was, more opposed to what actually happened. Because at the end of the day, as pointed out here today, we've all done the same thing. It was blown up. It was blown up. And the comments, some of the comments were pretty fucking bad. They were. That's it. And that's the judgment that I received. It was absolutely, the judgment was that you're part of them and you allow filth and you sit with filth and blah, blah, blah. When what do I go on her panel like twice a month, if that? I don't think it's fair. I think it's very juvenile. And then to make the claims of, selling my soul for views and shit is also very fucking ignorant, when in all actuality, whatever. It's just, if that's how you feel, it's how you feel. My intents weren't wrong. Again, I'm sorry that everything was blown up at Emmy's expense, but I'll stand by that. I feel like if it was really based around Emmy and this being a dox and something she's embarrassed of, it wouldn't have been highlighted to that extent. So, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end this one and get the actual topic started. So I appreciate all of you being patient. If you haven't, please hit the thumbs up. Yeah, I'm tired, Trish. I'm tired of people acting otherwise because they don't like me or they're judging me off something I did 2-3 years ago, or, whatever it may be. The shitty commenters should be blocked here, Granny. What shitty commenters and why? I try to be, Victoria. I mean, again, it's not like I was in there being like, oh, fuck Emmy, she's so ugly. And no, I thought whatever. There's some people that don't care for what you say. They'll always say you're trying to play a game or you're lying or you're playing stupid. These are just a few of the comments I saw last night. Or you're trying to fit in, or, whatever it may be. Feel that way, that's fine. But at the end of the day, you won't change my intent based off how you perceive me. I know what my intent was, and it was just to clarify what SS was talking about. Should I have written it? Nah, probably not. Was it as big of a deal as they made it to be? Not at all. Yeah, I'm not going to delete people over, well, except for you. I'll delete you because you're getting on my nerves. But I'm not going to delete people over their comments unless, again, they were personal. It's funny, Five Raider, because weren't you the one that said I was being homophobic, and when asked about it, you couldn't even clarify how, when, and where on my stream about Gypsy Rose? But I see you're still subbed here, so hit the thumbs up on your way out and let me help you. All grace are goes. Everyone's human. I go to those who can learn and reflect. Absolutely. I did from you, Katie B, and I appreciate that. Because the same people that pretend they allow that until they want to be angry at you, then they go and revisit everything. So, well, hopefully some things were clarified today. If not, I don't know what it is. Hopefully everything doesn't continue to explode. So, all right, I will go ahead and shut this one down and see you back here in a few. Thank you.